Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Welcome to Maggie and Perloff. No Maggie today, but you got Perloff and you got Andrew Bogusch sitting in the big chair for Maggie, and it is a fitting day for Bogusch to be here because, like me, Andrew Bogusch believes in love. Maggie Gray does not, and I have evidence of that because she's been saying all along that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift would not get engaged. The whole thing was at work. And what did we find out yesterday, Bogues? They truly are in love. It was the most beautiful engagement I've ever seen. It was in a Garden of Eden, and Travis popped the question. She said yes. America rejoices. Where were you when you found out?
I was actually much like Maggie. I was on the treadmill.
Oh, no way.
I was on the treadmill in my basement, and then our good friend Manny Rodriguez, who apparently missed me a lot yesterday when I wasn't here, texted the group, and they are in love with A-R-E in capital letters.
Yeah, there was no context for that.
But I knew exactly what he meant. I knew exactly
did not.
What he meant, and I went right to social media, and there was the post, which Maggie has already torn apart that this was, like a movie set, a stage thing.
I have the exact quote from Maggie Gray on X. What every woman dreams of, getting engaged in a CGI forest. Like, she just will never buy this couple.
And I don't understand why she's like this. She's a lovely woman with a handsome, talented, competitive, athletic, intelligent husband.
Okay, that's a little too much detail, but
she's
okay.
in a I said this to her. You were out when Taylor went on Travis and Jason's podcast, and we had to break this down the next morning. And she hated every second of that as well.
Yeah, she was really mad that Taylor kept talking about making bread.
Yes, and I said to her,
to be exact.
Right, which, by the way, leads to a whole other Super Bowl halftime performance Easter egg. I don't know if you guys have gone down that road just yet, but I said to Maggie post-podcast, I was like, when you sit here and talk about your husband,
the sourdough's taken over my life in a huge way.
Your whole face changes. Like, you get happy, excited. You're in a great relationship, and you have no room for these two to be in a relationship. And here she is again poo-pooing this. So I am very happy that the stars align for me to be here to celebrate this great day for these two young people and to wait for the invitation from them, because I've been a day one supporter of this relationship. And I better be there when they get actually married.
All right, let's relax a little bit here, Bogues. Now, so Maggie thinks that every public couple is a farce, and they're just doing it to sell records and to build Travis Kelce's acting career. Are you going to give any credence to that motivation behind this couple?
I believe that they are an actual couple. I don't know how else to explain that. They are in love now. Is it going to last? Who knows? Because who knows if any relationship is actually going to last. But I think that this is a legitimate thing still, folks, and we need to at least give them credit. And I'll also point out, too, a reminder, if you don't care, it's okay to not care about this. You don't have to care about this, but don't let it get you angry, and don't make posts on social media about how you don't care about this. You can just not make the post, because if you make a post, it feels like you care about it.
Okay, I don't know Travis Kelce. I don't know Jason Kelce, but I've seen a million interviews with them. Travis Kelce strikes me as salt of the earth. I know that sounds stupid. Maggie always laughs at me when I say this. Every interview I've ever seen with him, he is one of the most loyal and sort of Cleveland guys you will ever meet. Like, he's a huge star. He does not, in my opinion, act like it. You see it on the football field, that he's one of the greatest tight ends ever, maybe the greatest tight end. He blocks all the time still. Last year, he was a decoy and he chipped all the time. Like, Travis Kelce to me does not seem like a big ego guy, so that's why I think this can work. Seems like you need that kind of combination with Taylor Swift, who's got everything going on. I don't know anything about Taylor Swift. She's hard to read to me, even though she's the most famous person, one of the most famous people in the world. So I want to be with you and invited to this wedding.
Yeah, I think we should go. I think because I think it's important that they acknowledge the people who have been with them here from the beginning. I've never wavered in my support of them and my belief in this actual relationship.
Okay.
And we had to fight a real fight against Maggie over this.
Is there any word on when the wedding will be?
No, but we did find out from his dad when the actual engagement was.
Okay, when was it?
It happened the day the Eagles had that mega practice at the link when Landon Dickerson got hurt.
Okay.
Remember? Because he said, I was at this open practice at the link with all of these people, and I got a FaceTime from them that it had just happened. So that was a Sunday night, because I remember Monday morning the injury being in the news. So whatever Sunday night that was, that's when the engagement actually happened. So it's been done. They were engaged when they taped the podcast.
Oh, my God.
And we didn't know about it.
Okay, so now I'm with Maggie. So they're professional liars is what you're saying.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No, this actually goes in the complete other direction because they had their own personal moment. They kept it amongst themselves and their friends and their family. And then because they're so famous, they have to make an official announcement that they're engaged. So then they did that yesterday, but it took 2 weeks because it wasn't about immediately jumping down our throats with this announcement.
Okay. This probably is not the classiest topic, but what if Taylor's pregnant and they have to rush the wedding?
I mean, anything's on the table, man.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the schedule. The bye week is week 10. A lot of people have been mentioning that between November 2nd.
Oh, they're not getting married in season, baby.
I don't know.
No,
I mean, if she's going to show after the Super Bowl, I mean, the Chiefs will probably play late into the offseason.
No.
I mean, are they going to wait until March here?
Shotgun wedding aside, the way this goes is Chiefs win the Super Bowl again while she plays the halftime show.
Okay.
He announces his retirement. And then they get married sometime in the spring and then she goes on tour at the end of 2026 because the new album's coming out.
Are they going to work around the NFL draft? Is that a consideration about when they have the wedding?
I mean, we know that she was really geeked about Xavier Worthy, so we know she's a draft Nick. Maybe we can get her to voice the draft capsules that we run here on Infinity Sports Network. Maybe she can go Arch Manning.
We drafted Xavier
quarterback,
Worthy.
Texas for next. But I'm sure they'll make it work that they will not. I got married draft weekend. I don't think they'll do that. They'll make
that's
that mistake.
Annoying. So this year it's going to be in Pittsburgh, which is awesome. April 23rd to 25th. What if they're in Pittsburgh, they just jet over to Cleveland, do it in Cleveland, April 26th, just make a weekend of it.
No.
Instead of coming down to Pachelbel's Cannon, they come down to the draft sound. Like, dun, da, da, da.
Just the quick little, the pick is in noise.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the real question. Is Travis Kelce going to be affected by this?
Here comes the bride.
And with my first pick, I take Taylor Swift.
Well, we know it's not his first pick. He's had other girlfriends.
Well, yeah, but I saw some videos yesterday. He's been talking about his crush on Taylor Swift for a long time. So I will give him credit for that. Like, he's been talking about her. He worked this. Kind of like you. Like you knew your wife. Did it take years to convince your wife to even look at you?
Yeah, we didn't have friendship bracelets or anything like that. I think she will appreciate the comparison to Taylor Swift. But yeah, I guess we have that in common as well too. Yeah. We just hung on for dear life and broke them down, and they eventually said yes.
Yeah, Kelce goes way back with his crush on Taylor Swift. Okay, so is Travis Kelce going to be affected by this on the field? They have a brutal schedule to start. A lot of people have been talking about this. The Chiefs start out it's in Brazil, right?
Yeah.
Brazil against the Chargers. Then they get the Eagles in week 2. You get a break at the Giants, but then Baltimore week 4.
Whoa. Did you see the preseason?
Sounds right to me.
But then you get a break at Jacksonville, then you get Detroit. So you really have 3 of the top 5 teams in the first 6 weeks. This is a tough schedule, but I got to tell you, I'm into the Chiefs. I know that's not a hot take. Remember when we were so sick of them last year, then they lost the Super Bowl and everyone forgot about Chiefs fatigue? It's back because I think they fixed everything that was wrong. They had major O-line problems in the Super Bowl, and they made some moves here. EJ and I were watching the preseason game finale against the Bears. That O-line looked dominant. Preseason, so who knows what the Bears were actually running. But they actually have some depth there, too. I think the Chiefs are set up for a I'm looking at picking the Ravens to get out of the AFC, but I got to tell you, abandoning the Chiefs makes no sense.
So, I'm the luckiest man in the world.
I was on vacation when that last batch of preseason games came around. What was that about from them? Was Andy Reid mad at them? Like, why did they play that game so, it wasn't like a regular season intensity, but like they were real players in that game. Like they tried hard. Like that was that's not normally how we do these things anymore.
No, I think the trend now is to play your starters. At least
in the
once.
third one? in the last one?
Well, it's the second or third one because everything changed when they went from 4 to 3. That is not unusual. There were a lot of starters who played. I think
everything I read said it was unusual, that it was the last preseason game that they had guys out there that would normally not be out there, and they seemed to be like trying harder than usual.
Well, I mean, listen.
I'm trying to figure out what that was about.
The elite Joe Flacco started for Cleveland in week 3. I saw a lot of starters around the NFL do a drive or two. I think the Bengals scared everyone into playing their starters. I'm being dead serious. I think the Cincinnati Bengals created what we saw with the Chiefs because they've been so bad to start every season because they sit their starters. Now, listen, the Steelers sat Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that's great.
Yeah, that's not a great. I wouldn't have done that.
But you knew that Mahomes would be out there, I think. And also, they want to revamp their offense a little bit, get more vertical because they have not been vertical for the last couple years. Of course, they find a couple receivers that are just awesome, that are going to be great there, and they could break Maggie's heart as a Bills fan. Tyquan Thornton, former second-round pick with the Patriots, killing it in camp. I got to check this, but I heard my buddy Jeff Chidi on the NFL Network saying that they love Robert Tonyan. Do you guys remember that guy?
From the Packers.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's 31, and he's back, apparently, and he is very, very effective for Patrick Mahomes. So just leave it to Andy Reid to figure all this out. I mean, Travis Kelce could be, he really could walk out with a Super Bowl this year. That would be the greatest year any human being's ever had. To win a Super Bowl and then marry Taylor Swift on draft weekend in Pittsburgh. Honestly, how do you top
Stadium?
How do you top that?
No, I mean, that's basically the best way to possibly go out. My issue for him would be, and I made this argument for however many weeks last season lasted.
Tonyan got cut.
Whoops.
Moving on. I'm going back.
Thank you, Jeff. Jeff Chidi is an old friend. He was talking.
I can confirm that because I talked to Jeff a bunch. He was talking about how much he's known you for a while.
Oh, yeah. Jeff is like part of the Chiefs organization. Anyway, go ahead.
So I'm reusing my anti-Chiefs argument from last year, even though Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes can very easily prove us wrong again, and they didn't lose the Super Bowl because of this. They lost the Super Bowl because they just weren't good enough to beat the Eagles. But you can't stay this good for that long. Like, something's going to happen. The law of averages, Murphy's law, the universe, like something is going an abnormally good year from the Ravens or the Bills, finding a new level. Like, they're going to get the bounces. The ball finds Dalton, knocks off a deflection instead of not finding him. Like, that to me.
You mean, did you just combine the two tight ends for the Bills?
Is Dalton Knox not his name?
Well, there's
Dawson
Knox, but that was to Kincaid, though.
Yeah,
okay.
I
did.
That's awesome. I have no problem with that.
Are they that different? They might as well be called one guy called that.
Yeah. No, I have no problem with that. In fact, I really appreciate that.
Put it on a jersey. I don't have a football argument against them. I mean, I could nitpick like who's their second running back, and yeah, they have all these nice, in theory, wide receivers, but they have a true number one guy. Does it matter because they really haven't missed Tyreek Hill and they've got Patrick Mahomes? So like, there are a couple of things to nitpick at. But much like last year, I'm left just saying you're not supposed to stay good for this long. Like, somebody's going to fall into Patrick Mahomes. And even when he gets hurt, he somehow miraculously comes back 3 minutes later. Like, maybe this time the high ankle sprain actually costs him 6 weeks. Or somebody else, or somebody on defense that's important gets hurt and they can't figure it out. Like, those are the things. They're so good and they're so smart and they're so well run. Those are the only things that I can think of that could keep them from being there at the end again.
I'm an Eagles fan. Anyone who listens might know that. And I got to tell you, counting on a high ankle sprain to slow down Patrick Mahomes is not a strategy.
I know it's not a strategy.
Because he was limping at halftime of the Arizona Super Bowl and then he whooped us. The run's already been going pretty long, Bogues. To counter that, I mean, they've been I know they let the Bengals sneak in one year, but they've really been dominating this conference. It's already gone longer than you'd expect.
I know, and I thought last year was one too long, and they got back to the Super Bowl again, and they didn't lose because of whatever. They lost because they just were not the best football team that day. Nothing to do with that. They had been there 17 straight years before that, but like, there's a reason why the Bills were the last team to get to 4 straight Super Bowls. It's not easy. And a lot of things can just work against you, but that's all I got. Because otherwise they figure things out on the field.
Yeah, I know.
Every football thing we've thrown at them, they have figured out how to survive it and thrive off of it.
The big issue, I think, is their offensive line, which is still young. I don't understand how the NFL let Josh Simmons out of Ohio State, who everyone thought was hurt, had the same. Do you know he had the same injury as EJ?
Yes.
And EJ, 2 years later, EJ Stewart, our executive producer,
adding years to this injury. It was last summer.
2022, EJ tore up his patellar tendon in Deion Dawkins' kickball tournament.
Back in 2015, EJ went out to New Jersey and.
It is kind of an awesome sentence to say that you tore your patellar tendon in Deion Dawkins' kickball tournament. You have to admit.
Well, it makes it sound like he was out there, which he was not playing.
Oh. He was sort of floating around from field to field. Yeah, no, the story to your kids should be that Deion ran into me. This 100%. Guy who's 290 pounds and runs a 4.5 ran into me, but I held my base. No, you were trying to steal third. Bogues, he was trying to steal third with 2 outs. Like, he deserved it from a strategic standpoint.
It was a bad baseball decision, and it was a bad life decision.
Does he play for the Yankees?
Listen, I saw Lindor do that last night, and it worked out for him.
But, I mean, in all seriousness, I don't mean to make fun of you. That was a brutal injury. Your rehab was incredibly brutal. Are you shocked?
It's still happening.
Yeah. Are you shocked that Josh Simmons is
Shocking.
out there playing?
Shocking. And it's not. And to me, it's not just even me. There are a lot of players who just never are the same or never come back from this injury. It is a terrible injury.
Yeah, but he's out there killing it for the Chiefs, and it looks like they found a stud who only fell because no one thought he'd be playing. Typical Chiefs. Again, a couple years ago, the Bills traded the pick that ended up being Xavier Worthy. Who do the Bills desperately need? A Xavier Worthy. And that guy, in a preseason game, like, he's got a jetpack. He is ridiculous. So the NFL keeps helping out the Chiefs. I think that's why they're consistently at the top of the conference.
Yes, they have the best quarterback and the best head coach, and then they have all of these built-in, like, gifts that they get from other people too. They're liked by the universe, but there's got to be an expiration date on that, right? There has to be.
Maybe when Kelce ties the knot, everything will go south. By the way, everyone's calling it his last year, and it feels like it.
Yeah.
You never know. Gronk came back after he retired. Brady came back for a bunch of years.
Here's again, and I don't mean to. I'm not trying to Debbie Downer this, but my son was asking me yesterday about Kelce playing, and I said I think this is going to be his last year, and I just reflexively said unless he gets hurt and he doesn't want to go out like that. It made me think of Mariano Rivera, who tore his ACL, right, shagging fly balls.
Oh, right.
And what was supposed to be his last year, then he came back again. So, if Kelce gets hurt in week 3 and this year is sabotage injury-wise, maybe he plays again next year. But I would bet that this is it for him, and he's hoping that it ends in a game in February.
Well, it's funny. I had another thought, totally different. I think it would be hard to be married to Taylor Swift. She has a superpower. She's arguably the number one performer in the world right now.
Yeah.
And then you have a superpower. You're one of the greatest tight ends of all time. I feel like ego-wise, he's going to want to go out there and do his thing while she does her thing. Because otherwise, he's kind of pales in comparison.
See, so 2 things on that. I think he wants to do other things. I think he likes being, and Maggie's mentioned this, he likes being famous. So I think he's going to immediately transition into, showing up at wrestling events, being
Acting.
an actor. Those things are going to happen. And I also think, and it goes into him, I guess it was in the GQ article with the crazy pictures, talking about that he acknowledged that he wasn't where he should have been last year.
Yeah.
He was distracted.
2 years, last 2 years.
Right. So I don't think that he wants to play when he can't be Travis Kelce anymore. Some guys want to play until you kick them, and then you kick them out. I think he'll know that he's not good enough by his standards anymore, and he doesn't want to be out there like that. I think he'll pull the plug to not just float around, hang on, and be nobody.
Yeah. All right, we have to put a question out to the audience here. Is it fair to ask, and I hate to do this, Bogues, because I know where you and I stand, is this marriage going to last?
Oh,
damn.
Come on.
Is that the poll?
Wow.
I mean, come on.
No.
We're realists here. Maggie would do it. Would you be surprised if Maggie said that?
No, not be surprised.
Well,
She would vote no, and she'd create 5 burner accounts and vote no again.
Do you think Maggie
Amen.
even thinks that they're gonna like get married, or like do you think she would make an argument that they're never gonna get to the altar?
No, Maggie does the galaxy brain thing where she's going to say, no, they're going to get married because they got to have the show.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be real. There's going to be, a TV set there, and it's all part of a long-term contract that we don't know about. There's going to be some galaxy brain.
I mean, we knew why Taylor was going on the podcast. It was to talk about this new album. We
Yes.
knew that.
Yeah.
And Maggie still went like 3 steps down the road that they were going to sell us like lifestyle brand things. And I'm like, no, Maggie, she's there for the album. Like, we know why she's there. It's not for face creams or like a pot and pan set.
Well, maybe. I think I agree with
soon,
Maggie on
one
this.
day.
All right.
Haters.
Give
Yeah,
us a-
people like me.
Give us a call, 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Do you believe in love? That should be the poll question. Do you believe in love? Yes or no?
Do you have to sing it like Cher?
Yeah, pull some Cher songs. Yeah, we got 2 men sitting here talking about wedding plans and Cher. This is going to be a great show. Andrew
You're
Bogus
welcome,
in for
America.
Maggie Gray. Coming up next, to calm things down, let's get into that Browns quarterback depth chart. Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Maggie is out today. That means Andrew Bogusch and I can talk about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding plans, jam out to some Cher. It's basically heaven on earth right now.
It's a bachelor party.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know about that.
Your bachelor party sounded like it sucked.
All right, let's get to some manly topics here, I guess. The Cleveland Browns quarterback room, it sort of dominated the offseason.
Very manly.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett gone, trade to the Raiders. Now we have Dylan Gabriel 2, Shedeur Sanders 3. We knew that was going to happen, but they made it official. You know, I heard a lot of the Kevin Stefanski press conference. I am very curious, is Dylan Gabriel really ready to be a backup in the NFL? Because he's a rookie. So if Joe Flacco goes down, what's going to happen here? It could be chaos. But let's hear from Stefanski on why he thinks that Dylan Gabriel is ready.
It's such a all-encompassing evaluation, so everything the guys did in the games was important. We also saw a lot of them out here in practice and how they are at their craft, and he's certainly somebody that we think is getting better and better.
So my question is, was it really what they saw, or did they come into the offseason with the idea, we took Dylan Gabriel in the third round, we are going to have confirmation bias, and we're going to see him as a better player than Shedeur Sanders? By the way, probably happens all the time in the NFL. I think it's amplified because it's Cleveland and everyone's paying attention to Shedeur Sanders. But do you really think that they saw all this in Dylan Gabriel, or do you think that they had made up their mind before the season started, the offseason started?
No, I mean, I think they had an idea in their mind when the offseason started, when they got that first post-draft minicamp, and then things played out the way we all thought they were going to play out. I mean, I think...
But did they, or did they just make sure that things played out that way? You know what I mean?
I get it. I mean, I can't from the outside answer that question, but I would think if we went back in time, that most of these quarterback battles, and this is not fully for the starting job, but trying to clear up the picture, they usually go the way we thought they were going to go. I mean, the Giants here in New York, they sign Russell Wilson, they sign Jameis Winston, and then they draft Jackson Dart, and then yesterday they cut Tommy DeVito, which had been the expectation the entire summer because that's just the way things were going to go here. The wild card to me was trying to figure out if they really were going to keep 4 quarterbacks. If that was the true sentence, that they were okay with doing this, or was that just posturing, waiting for somebody to have an Aiden O'Connell broken wrist or somebody's high ankle sprain or a torn ACL where they would need Kenny Pickett and they could get draft capital for him. Like, that's the only thing we didn't have an answer on, and now we do. And things have shaken out, I think, also probably the way they wanted them to. I'll give you that. I think this is what they wanted. I think they wanted somebody to need Kenny Pickett, and they finally got it with the Raiders. And
I think they wanted Pickett to win this job.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I do, because they said so many nice things about him over the summer.
To make somebody want him when the need arose.
Yeah, but I think that they wanted a quarterback this year with some promise. Like, they want to basically try out these 2 rookies to see where they are coming into next year's draft. I'll give you a player comp that I've been thinking about a lot for Dylan Gabriel. Okay, everyone gets Tua because they're both from Hawaii and lefty and kind of short.
Right.
He reminds me so much of my pal, who I talk about all the time, Case Keenum. Now,
Is Case small?
Case is pretty small. He's
Okay.
probably 5'11", 6 feet tall. He is the all-time leader in every college football category yards. Case is number 1. Guess who number 2 is? Dillon Gabriel. And pretty much
right.
So Dillon Gabriel actually started more games than any college quarterback
Right.
ever.
I was going to say, Dillon played a whole extra season than Case, too,
Yeah.
right?
No, Case had a lot of seasons. Case, because of injuries, got an extra season.
Okay.
But Dillon got an extra season. Anyway, he's got so much football. Athlete. He's got so much football under his belt. And Kevin Stefanski was a coach when Case Keenum really took off in Minnesota. A quarterback like that who is not going to make plays with his legs is perfect for Stefanski. Like, he wants Dillon Gabriel to run his system, sort of that Kubiak-Shanahan system. That's why I think they wanted Dillon Gabriel. As of right now, Shedeur is more of a, I'm going to make a lot of plays, not run the system guy.
Yeah. Now, I think the bigger picture for me here is, while this is the way I thought it was going to end up, it's not the optimal way for this to end up in terms of just football. Like, I would not want to go into a season with only rookie quarterbacks behind my old, semi-fragile starting quarterback. Like, I would have wanted to have Kenny Pickett there and only one rookie quarterback then after him. But when they put themselves in this world, having all 4 guys on board, plus Deshaun Watson still technically like there, this was the only way it could end up. But it's still, this is a big dice roll. No matter what you like about Dillon Gabriel, he's still a rookie quarterback who was not a highly drafted, deep pedigree, like sure future starter.
He's pretty old.
Yeah, but he's not a guy who you were picking necessarily to be a franchise quarterback. You don't do that in round 3.
So, yeah, I mean, he has a lot of experience. I think he would be okay, but I don't think they care about winning games if Flacco gets hurt because they just want to see these 2 QBs develop.
They don't care about winning games in terms of like, oh, we could maybe win the AFC North or get into a playoff position, but it's also like there is still a little bit of responsibility to the rest of the roster that you can't just throw guys out there who don't deserve to be out there.
And Cleveland Browns we're talking about.
I understand. I get it. But as we've said this since draft day, since draft weekend, having 2 guys like this is not the way that anyone does this. Even it was weird for them, but it fits because we know that they're that desperate to find a quarterback. So if anyone's going to draft 2 middle to late round guys, one of them being Shedeur Sanders, it does retrospectively make sense that it's Cleveland, but it's still not ideal.
You know, it's funny. There's a longtime reporter and columnist in Cleveland, Tony Grossi.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a provocateur. He said that he thinks the Browns would bring back Snoop Huntley, who was in camp before they played Shedeur Sanders. And I do think if there's an injury, Snoop might be floating around and they could bring him back in.
Yeah, because then we're back into the world where some people have to accept that Shedeur's just not that good at the moment. And I don't say that. I don't
think people are accepting that.
But I don't say that negatively or dismissively. I just say it as a guy who we've now seen twice in the preseason, and one time we fainted because it was so good, and the second time he did all of the things that we're afraid of, and the reason why he started to drop, at least in the beginning of the draft, all the bad habits he has. And I'm not saying he can't get there. He's just farther away from deserving to be on the field than Dillon Gabriel is. So if Joe Flacco gets hurt in week 1, it would not be surprising if a guy like Snoop Huntley showed back up.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a reality. If Flacco got hurt or that Kenny Pickett's gotten traded more than any quarterback except for Sam Howell. The 2 of them have set an NFL record. Trade back for Kenny Pickett. You could always do that. And then the funny thing is, it came out yesterday. Guess who's floating around? Deshaun Watson. His recovery is going really well. What if he comes back in week 10? Oh, that'd be amazing. All right, we got to get to some headlines. Now, we have a new headlines guy today, Justin Rocke. And Justin, I don't want to make you nervous.
I'm all good.
You're sitting next to the GOAT right here.
I know Bogish. I am. He was fantastic showing me the ropes on Monday and again yesterday. So
he might have secretly sabotaged you, knowing Bogish. Like, I don't know.
It wouldn't be the first time someone's done that to me.
You said he taught you yesterday. He didn't do a damn thing with you yesterday.
Hey, you know what? He was still helpful. I walked down. I know he was working with the guys across the way yesterday, but walked down, said hi.
He's a cheater and adulterer. That's what he is.
Can we talk?
Yeah, we missed you yesterday, Bogues. You were doing other stuff.
Can we talk about this for a second? Because it started to be annoying, and then it kind of faded into flattery that Manny missed me a lot yesterday. He kept walking down, saying mean things to me down the hallway, but it was just to
like
check on
school.
me. He put like a social media post that was a cry for help and attention more than anything else.
All I do is cry for attention.
I'm kind of honored that I think Manny likes me. I think Manny wants to be my friend still, unlike the rest of you in this place. Manny might invite me somewhere.
Yeah,
not anymore.
That's not happening. Not anymore, actually. Yeah, you're not wrong, EJ.
What? Oh,
Invitation expired.
Justin, you don't even know the backstory here. Basically, when I first started working on the Infinity Sports Radio Network, I was planning this trip to drive down to San Antonio. It's still on. And Bogus said, I'll go with you. And I said, nah, I'm not interested.
And since then, he's been yearning for a friend.
Yeah, and he took it very personally. I invited him to many things, many hockey games.
You invited one hockey game that we did not
it's
make
better than
happen.
0.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what was the response from you and Pete Bellotti when I invited you to the hockey game?
Well, you
You didn't
us.
even respond. You were like, Perloff's not even important enough to respond to this.
Well, you asked us at the. It was a nice invitation.
I actually said, send me dates that you're available because I know you guys are both busy.
But they were right, and they were not, because we was late in the season, and they were not workable dates. And then we were rude in not getting back to you in a timely fashion. That one I will eat. But San Antonio hurt.
Wait, what else since then?
Knicks games hurt. I haven't gone to WrestleMania yet, and you guys are going to Wrigley to pee in your pants, and I wasn't invited to that either.
Yeah, there's this thing about adult diapers at Wrigley. I don't drink, so I don't really need the diapers, but I will wear them in solidarity.
WrestleMania, by the way, you had to wear a singlet.
Getting ready for New Year's in Times Square?
Is that how I've always wondered how they do that.
I'm not 99% sure that's the game plan.
It's a real thing.
Wow. All right, Justin, give us some headlines.
You got it. Hey, guys, these headlines brought to you by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. You're talking about the Browns and their quarterback decisions. It was cut day yesterday in the NFL. Teams needed to whittle the rosters down to 53 ahead of Week 1. Depth charts configured as well. The Saints making a decision. Head coach Kellen Moore named Spencer Rattler as the team's starting quarterback Tuesday. Rattler appreciative of the opportunity.
Emotions, very excited. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Worked my tail off to achieve this, and now it's here, and just ready to work with the guys and get this season going. I feel like we're headed in the right direction, and everybody's excited right now.
Yeah, no, it's interesting with Spencer Rattler, part of a 3-man quarterback battle in New Orleans. He beat out Tyler Shuck, who was one of the Saints' draft picks. Jake Haener, who was also part of that discussion, was released yesterday. And also notable cuts in the NFL, the Patriots axing their 2022 first-round pick, offensive lineman Cole Strange, one of Bill Belichick's former first-round picks. Only one of Bill Belichick's former first-rounders still on the Patriots' active roster. That's Christian Gonzalez as of today.
I was really surprised by that. Did he make a Pro Bowl? Or
he started every game his rookie year, got injured in 2023, and for whatever reason, he was the starter when the training camp began, and by week 2 of the preseason, he was starting to fall out of favor.
His PFF grade last year was awful.
Well, I just remember when they drafted him, everyone's like, who is this guy? It must be another genius Belichick pick. I guess not.
Evidently not. Well, that was seemingly the track record towards the end of his tenure. There was a couple of early draft picks. Remember, like 2010, 2011, they took, I think, Tavon Wilson in the second round.
Well, they could never do receiver. N'Keal Harry was one of the worst picks in recent memory.
But also, I guess in Bill's defense, their draft last year may end up only being Drake May because they traded Joe Milton. They've cut 3 guys. 2 guys are on injured reserve. So they made 8 picks in the 2024 draft, and maybe only Drake May will be on the active roster this year. And that's not Bill.
Yeah,
that wasn't Bill.
That's wild.
You can't survive that.
But it does seem like people are still super high on the Patriots everywhere. In part because of Drake May, but also because of Vrabel.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are very high on Mike Vrabel, but definitely because of Drake May. But very interesting with what's going on with New England and how many draft picks they've cut, honestly, a la John Idzik a couple of years ago with the Jets. But going to baseball, game 2 of the bogus Perloff series over in Queens. Mets and Phillies, by the way, last night in Queens. Back and forth affair, and once more it was the Mets who had the last laugh.
2-0 the count. Marte the winning run at third. Alonso at second. Beatty at first. Nobody out. Bottom of the ninth. 5-5. The 2-0 to Nimmo. Swing and a liner to left center. Base hit. Put it in the books. The Mets have made it 2 straight over the Phillies. Marte scores from third. The Mets pour out of the dugout. A 6-5 win.
the great Howie Rose on Odyssey Mets Radio. Mets now 5 games back of the Phillies in the NL East.
As my good friend Manny likes to say, NL East back on.
That was what Gary Cohen said last night. He said
serious.
it is game on now in the NL East with about 30-some-odd games left to go. And the interesting note, though, on the Mets and Phillies series is you don't really think about the Mets dominating anybody in recent years. Nope. But they've now won 9 straight against the Phillies at Citi Field and 28-10 overall over their last 38 against the Phillies since COVID, dating back to 2021, which is kind of incredible when you consider the fact that everyone just assumes the Phillies run roughshod over the Mets based on what happened in the late 2000s and their comeback in the NL East. But Mets also 3.5 up on the Reds for the final wild card spot. That thanks to the Dodgers' 6-3 win over Cincinnati. Clayton Kershaw, 5 innings of 1-run ball. How about this for Kershaw? Talk about a guy who is sort of towards the end of his career. He has found a renaissance last month. He's 5-0 in August, a 1.88 ERA.
Oh, that's awesome. I am a super fan of Clayton Kershaw.
More of a reason why he shouldn't have been gifted an all-star spot as a quote-unquote legacy pick.
Oh, boy.
The guy can still play.
Yeah, he's 37, right?
He's an active guy.
I was going to say, he's certainly nearing the end of his career, but I did not know that he still had this still left in the tank. It seemed like everyone's, he just gets a courtesy contract every year and see what he can do with the Dodgers. He's still got plenty of gas left in there. And considering all the injuries the Dodgers rotation has undergone over the course of this season, who knows? Maybe Kershaw's pitching some big innings for L.A. coming up in the playoffs.
I mean, has he solved his postseason issues? I guess at this point.
I would guess, and they've won 2 World Series now at this point. Like, whatever boogaboos he had as a postseason reliever, it certainly, or a postseason starter, I should say, certainly feel like they have qualmed a little bit.
Whenever I see a guy like Kershaw at this stage of his career, or like Verlander years ago, late in their careers dominate, it illustrates to me how much so many guys really don't know how to pitch, and also guys who are lost at the plate. Like Kershaw, given the stuff he used to have, that the fact that he's still able to consistently get guys out. When you see guys that have 102-mile-per-hour stuff but don't actually know how to pitch, it's just, to me, it's a great sign for just how the older guys know what they're doing.
It's fascinating as someone who works in minor league baseball on a day-to-day basis. It's become evidently clear, especially now in this era of velocity, that there used to be the phrase that, okay, you can teach people how to pitch. You can't teach a guy how to throw 98, 99 miles an hour. It has become evidently clear that maybe you can teach a guy to throw 98, 99 miles an hour, but you can't teach him how to necessarily be able to manipulate, pitch sequencing and locations and just the act of actually becoming a pitcher.
Well, Maggie and I argue a lot about Shohei Ohtani. And I say the fact that the Dodgers won a World Series game in a bullpen game, I think there are a lot of ways to do this. And I see what you're saying, EJ, but I do feel like the Mets, for example, make me nervous because they built up that bullpen like crazy. I do, if you're a bullpen pitcher and you can throw 100 miles an hour, do you need to be intellectual like that?
Probably not as much with a reliever. You can sort of need to be able to just, sort of grip it and rip it. You need less.
Ryan Helsley disagrees, but okay.
Oh, boy. Well, it worked until a couple of weeks ago. But that seems to be more the case on the reliever side of things. But even then, you still need to be able to buckle down when you have, bases loaded, 1 out, 3-2 count. Can you, find a way to win the mental game against the opposing batter? And it's become very fascinating to see just how much guys have been able to pick up velocity even as a singular season goes along and not necessarily just something they're working on in the offseason.
Interesting. All right. Thank you, Justin. Great job. We're going to stick with baseball. Bogues and I have a major, major disagreement about Cal Raleigh and this home run chase. He's all about it. I'm skeptical. That's next. Maggie and Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff show. That's Taylor Swift. So, Manny, help me out. After the engagement, she posted on Instagram something to the effect of, your favorite English teacher is marrying your favorite PE teacher?
Yeah, Andrea loved that.
So I don't get it. Is that sort of what they fashion themselves out as, like the likable middle-aged teachers or something?
Yeah, look at them, right? Like Taylor Swift's like, oh, I'm just like, strong writer who writes very poetically about, my love stories and my life. And, Travis Kelce is this jock, right? But they're both kind of middle-aged. Like, not middle-aged, but they're older than some other younger folks.
Older than Manny.
Right. They're
They
old
do
they're old enough to be teachers, quite frankly. So it was a cute caption. I like the caption.
Oh my God. Where does your fiance stand on this couple, EJ?
Oh, I broke the news to her. She was so thrilled, and then she got a FaceTime from a friend. That's how important this is in the Taylor Swift circles. This is a massive news.
Oh, is she a Swiftie?
Super Bowl.
Yeah, I've talked about this. Andrea, she's been to a bunch of Taylor Swift shows. I think the last tour she went twice. Yeah, she's
the luckiest man in the
She
world.
refuses to be called a Swiftie because with that comes the assumption you harass and bully people on the internet, which she does not do. But she is a massive fan of Taylor Swift. Yes.
My daughter said it was a top 5 day for her yesterday.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
I mean, she's 14.
I mean, she's seen a lot of days in her 14 years.
I don't think she did an official count, but she was excited.
What's the third best day on that list?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you. Not going to the not going to the Eras tour because that broke my heart that we couldn't figure that out for her.
No.
But yeah,
So
we almost did the go to Europe thing that people did from here because it was so expensive to go here. It was cheaper to go see her like in Berlin.
So my 14-year-old is on a different page than you guys.
Yeah.
She says, and I quote, Taylor Swift dressed like a mom. I don't understand why people like her. She's into like punk rock and like hardcore rap.
She's too cool for us. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, she grew up in Brooklyn. She's too cool for me. She won't even talk to me anymore.
A reminder that Perloff's daughter once asked him.
Because we're another day closer to death.
But that's the other daughter who actually has been to a Taylor Swift concert. She likes Taylor Swift, but she's a little agnostic. She's a theater nerd, and they have a whole different thing going on.
Oh, well, no wonder she likes Taylor Swift.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm kind of with my 14-year-old. Taylor Swift is like, I'm sorry, Andrea. Like, is she cool?
Easy.
Like, is there anything cool about her? She's popular.
No, she's not cool. That's not the point about Taylor Swift.
Right.
Well, explain to me what the point is. Then.
The point is that she's very relatable. Is that this idea that here's this small town girl who has trouble with boys just like everybody else, who's a hopeless romantic just like everybody else, and she sings catchy tunes. And
she has a very long back. Taylor Swift.
Can't confirm or deny anything about the long back, but yeah, she's relatable. I think
she's tall. It's probably a long back.
Yeah.
So does like Andrea like put her albums on and listen to them?
Oh yeah. If I fall asleep on one of the long car rides you have, it's either going to be a Taylor Swift album or a Beyonce album coming on.
Okay.
Or Mariah, but one of those three. That's the holy
And
trinity.
I'll write your name.
Huh. So you have to fall asleep before she gets control of the dial.
Well, no. So our playlist it's a mandatory thing that there is plenty of Taylor and Beyonce and Mariah. That has to happen already. If I fall asleep, she then can go off of the playlist and say, all right, I'm just going to play just the Taylor album or the Beyonce album. I don't have to hear any of EJ's J. Cole or, Tupac. We'll get that out of here.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I find the whole thing kind of confusing. Grown men loving Taylor Swift, and I'm sitting right next to one right now. You're kind of into not that you love Taylor Swift. Like when you're on a family car ride, do you guys play Taylor Swift, folks?
Yeah. Although the kids now thankfully have graduated to putting their headphones on in the back seat because my son doesn't want to listen to Taylor Swift,
right,
or Sabrina Carpenter or whatever. So like they've now separated, and we can listen to our own thing in the front of the car, which is super nice. But like I just get it. I get like what EJ was saying. I understand why she is significant. I think she couldn't be a better role model for young kids. I think she's on she stands for the right things.
Pardon, I just want to throw up in my mouth a little bit. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean it's true. Like she's not up there dressed weird or singing about naughty things or shaking the wrong. Like if my kid was going to listen to somebody's album nonstop for years at a time, this is a good choice.
Oh my God, that is so lame. This is supposed to be rock and roll music, not good role model. Your role model should not be the music you listen to. My daughter can recite every Nicki Minaj line there is.
Yeah,
and I find that way
we
cooler.
need to call child services.
No. Nicki Minaj is actually, we got, as a family, like her music is a lot more listenable too, because there are some kind of radio versions. But come on, everything you just described is not why you listen to music, especially if you're a teenager. Like, she's a good role model.
That's not why my daughter's listening to her, but I appreciate the fact that she's in my daughter's life.
You were a teenager. What did you listen to? Like, hopefully not a good role model. Hopefully something, like music is supposed to be rebellious.
I listen to now. Like Pearl
Dave
Jam.
Matthews, we know that.
More Pearl Jam back then.
Oh, okay.
More grunge.
How old is Dave?
I mean, they've been around since the early to mid 90s.
Hootie and Dave came up in the 90s. Yeah. I don't know. I just think like It's interesting to me. I want to hear from you. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Do you listen to Taylor Swift if you're a grown man? And does the engagement to Travis Kelce affect this decision? If you're a big Chiefs fan, are you definitely playing T-Swizzle? All right, we're going to get into an interesting quarterback situation next. Maggie Perloff Show.
And I'll write your name.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining.
Believe Bilatti's got something to say. Infinity's mine. He's feeling the dismay. No one needs.
1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Back on Maggie and Perloff. Maggie's still on vacation. Andrew Bogusch sitting in the big chair today. Just to recap a little bit, we've played some Cher. We've power ranked Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, and Chappell Roan. Billie Eilish. That was behind the scenes. That was too sad to even bring to the airwaves. But this is all because he popped the question. Of course, Travis Kelce got engaged to Taylor Swift yesterday. At least we found out about it yesterday. Maggie was immediately cynical, as she always is. Bogues, you've been fighting Maggie on this topic for a long time.
Yeah, because I've always believed in them, in Tay and Trav. And I am perplexed by Maggie's immediate pushback on this.
She doesn't believe in anything. She thinks everything's a work. She's one of those people.
I know, and a lot of times it's endearing. Other times I agree with her. Like, I'll follow her down a lot of paths on that front. But this one seemed at times almost personal, like that Taylor had beaten her to Travis, and she was like jealous or something. I don't know. It was weird.
Oh, no way. No. Because I don't think she looks at Travis Kelce as a catch necessarily.
No, I know. It was odd that she was the most vehemently anti-them around here.
Yeah,
odd to me.
Odd, but predictable for some reason.
I guess not to me. So I don't. Maybe that's my fault.
So to me, it gets down to the NBA draft lottery. Every time there's an NBA draft lottery, she will not even.
That's an example. I am arm in arm with her on that one.
Well, she won't even give a 1% chance that there may not be fixed. That it may actually be ping pong balls. It's like she'll give 0% to the possibility of it not being fixed.
So I do think a couple, every once in a while, there are legitimate ones. A, just to keep us off the scent, and B, like EJ said, there are times where it just doesn't matter. So those are the ones, like let just the ping balls go where they may, and so it gives us the illusion of it not being fixed.
Well, for me, as a non-conspiracy theorist, it frustrates me because you go back in time, you look like, here's how this was fixed, here's how this was fixed, here's how this was fixed. So I asked all my fellow conspiracy theorists here, how are they fixing this upcoming one? And nobody said they're giving the number one pick to Dallas. But after it happened, everyone's like, well, of course they did that. Well, why did you tell me the day before they were going to do that?
Because sometimes you can't,
here's how
as pro-conspiracy as you might be, sometimes your brain can't go as far, or you're not, like, there's a reason why I'm not in that room, because I couldn't have comprehended the conspiracy to get Cooper flagged to the Mavs.
Well, I just thought the whole thing got silly because EJ is an expert in explaining why they fix certain lotteries. He's like, well, this year it's going to be about the Washington Wizards. I'm like, what? Remember you said that Wizards are finally going to get a player? Or somebody here said that.
Did I say Wizards?
No, somebody. Might have been.
That's where we were right this year. We were unanimous in the teams that were not going to get the number one pick because they didn't deserve to be rewarded.
There was not a single thing that was right about.
No, we were right. The Wizards didn't get the pick.
Right. Yeah, I don't think we even picked the Wizards.
Well, nobody picked the Mavs.
Not the Wizards, not the Hornets. There were a couple other teams that we said these guys are not getting Cooper flag.
So the other thing, too, is you're openly accusing David Stern and Adam Silver of fraud, and you guys have no problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, they have some co-conspirators. It's not just it wasn't just the two of them individually pulling strings, but yeah.
David Stern, I think, God rest his soul, I think he would almost welcome this kind of Machiavellian figure we've made him out to be.
Okay.
But before we leave this, there's nothing angrier than the NBA writers who get invited to watch the draft, and then when you tell them it's fixed, they go to work for the league, man. Those guys, they have no time for this conversation. They're personally insulted by it.
Yeah, I mean,
I was in the room.
They see the ping pong balls. Yeah, they could. You could at least have the possibility that they're right and you're wrong.
Oh, always.
Okay.
I'm not that close-minded.
Well, about this one topic, I feel like everybody here gets pretty close-minded. All right. Speaking of handsome tight ends, that came out wrong. Okay. You know who's easy on the eyes?
Manny?
Trey McBride.
Oh, okay. Oh, man.
let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals and do our quarterback carousel.
It's great for the NFL that you have great quarterback play.
Finding the right quarterback can change your franchise forever.
Can you throw it like a quarterback, third in the line?
32 teams, each with just one signal caller.
It's my quarterback.
Maggie and Perloff answer one big question about the quarterback.
All right, we're working our way through the whole NFL. Today, we're on the Arizona Cardinals. EJ Stewart, what do you got for us?
All right, let's head to the desert, and we're talking Kyler Murray, who former #1 pick, multi-$100 million contract, but future seems maybe in flux. So I ask you guys, will Kyler Murray be on the cards next season?
Okay, I'll start. I'm actually getting a little high on this team right now.
Really?
Yeah, I mean... So the Arizona Cardinals are the NFL analytic nerds, faux tape watchers team du jour. Like all the Ben Solaks and all those people at ESPN, they love the Cardinals because they sort of seem like they're trending up and figuring out some things under Coach Jonathan Gannon. They've been floating around 500. Kyler Murray was hurt last year, basically. He said that his leg injury affected him badly. They have a lot of talent around them. They run the ball effectively with James Conner. And then Marvin Harrison Jr., I assume he'll take a step up. And Trey McBride really is a fantastic tight end that we started talking about. So I just think there's a lot of reasons to think that they're successful. Like all the NFC West teams, they have an easy schedule this year. And I don't even know if this is a good thing, but I think Kyler Murray is going to win enough games to keep that job.
So I'm going to say he'll be on the team next year, but it's just about money. I don't share your confidence in them at the moment, but it's just a sheer fact that it's about $60 million dead cap space. Now, I also, on the other hand, teams don't care anymore about dead cap space. Like they'll eat whatever they need to eat to move off of somebody. But I don't think it's the finances will scare them too much to divorce Kyler Murray after this year. So he'll be there next year, but I'm not sure that he's going to solve or quiet any of the doubts that we have about him. I wish that, right in time for this, by the way, The Athletic has a new article about Kyler Murray and his future with the Cardinals. And it mentions guys like Matthew Stafford, other guys, Jared Goff, that took a while to find playoff success, had to change teams to find it. And while that makes some sense to me, I just wish that Kyler Murray had put himself in position where we almost feel sympathetic to his situation in Arizona, where we're saying, man, he's been so good, but the defense keeps letting him down, or his head coach is a doofus, and they're losing not because of him. They still feel like they lose because of him. And that makes me nervous still because he's not a baby anymore. This is going to be year 7. He's 28 years old. Like the issues, some of the issues that are still prime focus of him are still issues after all these years. They should have been smoothed out. They should have been moved on from them. So he'll be there next year, but the conversation's still going to be the same on whether or not he's the guy for them after next year.
So it's funny about Kyler Murray. Like, what are the issues? We know what they are. He's short. He has to drop way back to see the field.
Yes. Still make some bad decisions.
But last year, I think he lost a little bit of his superpower. He was not super effective running the football like he's been in the past. His running numbers were down, I believe. He ran for 572 yards last season. He's an interesting guy. Great arm. Super mobile. He runs like an angry toddler. We all know that. I think this is really a team question. And, Jonathan Gannon, former Eagles defensive coordinator, if he can really make that defense elite, the team might support Kyler. I think that would be more of my take on this. I think the team hasn't always been on the same page with Kyler Murray. When Kyler Murray was at his peak, the rest of the team let him down. I just think that maybe there's a turn that eventually they're going to break through. Now, it's actually one of the best divisions in football. You know, if Matthew Stafford's healthy, you got the Rams, you got the Niners with all that talent. I think the Seahawks are an interesting team, and then the Cardinals. It's going to be a brutally tough division, but you're going to get multiple playoff teams because they play the AFC South and the NFC South. I would not count out Kyler Murray having a winning record. And if that's the case, then they're going to comfortably stick with him.
I mean, he's 10 games under they're 10 games under 500 with him as their starting quarterback. I mean, if you want to tell me that they have a winning record at 9-8, or 10-7, I can get there. And I understand, like, they've acknowledged their shortcomings. They went out and they spent on defense in this offseason. They've never given him even a remotely close to elite defense to give him something to rely on, a safety net. Like, that's never been there. So I'll give them credit for that. I think Jonathan Gannon says all the right things about Kyler Murray. Doesn't harp on the past. It's always about the future and what he can be and what he should be and how we're getting there. A couple of players this summer, unprompted, have defended and spoken about Kyler's work ethic. So they're all pushing in the right direction right now. But it just still worries me that even if other things start to get better around him, is he still going to throw that pick at the absolute worst possible time, or miss a throw when he needs to get a first down, when they need to get in the end zone? So I don't know that he can solve all of the questions that we have about him right now.
You know, it's so funny. I've almost forgotten about the video game clause in the contract.
How could you not?
Kyler Murray's 28. I assume that he's outgrown some of that stuff.
No, because that's also one of it. This is how it came up, and this was in the Athletic article that I was reading this morning. Michael Carter, the veteran running back, was talking about, I think, playing games with Kyler as a way, like that's how they separate. And I'll defend video games. There's no difference between sitting down and playing Madden or spending 6 hours playing golf. And we don't care that guys play golf or go fishing or hunting, because that's their distraction. I know it's weird still for adults to play video games, but if that's what you use to, like, clear your mind and decompress, I don't care about that. It sounded like Kyler Murray was up all night with his headphones on playing Call of Duty and not studying. That's the problem. But Michael Carter was like, this is what we do. He caught himself because he knew the bugaboo, the taboo of Kyler and video games, said the dude works hard, the dude works hard, the dude works hard. So, I mean, it sounds like he's still playing. I don't know what they're playing, but I do think that he has, or at least they're telling us, that he's got a little more professional down there.
Oh, you're absolutely right. There are all these behind-the-scenes shows on now. Every team's got some form of Hard Knocks, like a behind.
Yeah.
And every young player, all you see them do is gaming at night.
Well, I mean, every third guy is bringing PlayStation or Xbox with them to training camp, especially if they're going somewhere like the dorm. Yeah. They're lugging the console in to play at night.
Just for a contrast, I recently watched the Dallas Cowboys Netflix documentary.
I can't watch it.
It's awesome. They were not playing PlayStation. They were going to the White House, which was a place where you could get
not
drugs
Washington,
and
D.C.
meet young ladies. Nope, that was not Washington, D.C. They didn't have time for video games, or they were too busy partying. So you're right. Like, video games, that's such a modern athlete thing to...
They were playing GTA in real life? Grand Theft Auto in real life?
Very much so. Yeah. So that's such a modern athlete thing. Instead of going out and being famous, like, it doesn't seem like these young athletes have any interest. Like, I don't think that they enjoy going to club. I don't think any of these... That's why most quarterbacks get married young. What's that?
I still think they have their fun.
Yeah, but I think a lot of them would rather stay home and play video games. I think of my Philadelphia 76ers. Do you think Joel Embiid wants to go out in public? That dude just wants to play video games. EJ, you follow video games a lot. Do you think that young athletes are more prone to stay home and play video games, or want to go out more?
I think there's a little both, because it seems like these young athletes, the mornings don't exist for them unless you're like maybe an NFL player during the season where you got to get to practice. But there are guys who their sleep schedules are insane, and I know NBA teams have like adjusted practices to not have morning practices because guys will play video games late into the night, early into the morning.
But
they also go out. I'm saying so. My thing is, I think they do a little bit of both, where they'll go out, they'll come home, and they'll play 2-3 hours of video games. By the way, Kyler Murray's favorite video games: NBA 2K, Call of Duty, Gears of War, FIFA, and Fortnite.
Pretty good.
A lot of the classics.
Yeah, those are all pretty fun.
He's a big COD guy.
Oh, I would destroy him in FIFA.
Well, I mean, listen, we have James Harden sort of taking up the cause for going out in the NBA. You're telling me, I have a sense, and this is based on nothing, that Anthony Edwards, a young star like that, like, I don't think those guys... I think those guys are very nervous to go out a lot. I don't sense that it's an easy thing for NBA players to go out, because they're big deals.
I don't know if Anthony Edwards is the right example here.
Well, I know he has a lot of
sordid
girlfriends.
Yeah, exactly.
But they don't go to the clubs.
I was gonna get to that too, because I think, to be honest, I think Instagram has solved the problem of the club thing. I think before you would go to the club to find what are now the Instagram models of our society, but you don't have to do that now. They're just on your Instagram, so
right,
you
Manny?
can just fly them out. You can just DM them, say, hey, where you at?
Yeah, personal experience.
Come to New York, come to LA, or come to wherever I'm playing, and then you don't have to leave the house.
Gosh, we started the show talking about the wholesome love between Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, and now we're into pro athletes finding women on Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a show of many talents, just like Shiloh.
Which would you guys be? Say you were a 24-year-old star out. Say you're a quarterback. You're not married yet. Would you go out to the clubs, or would you go to Instagram DMs?
And let's not forget Shiloh.
Definitely a DM guy.
You, EJ, you don't even go out to the clubs. You do not seem like a club guy.
Yeah, I hate the club. I don't really love bars. It's not my scene. I will just talk to you forever and then nothing happened guy.
Manny?
I enjoy a club. I remember the last time I was at the club, I was over
after a Yankee game. You almost didn't make it in Monday morning.
It was not too long after Jalen Brunson signed with the Knicks, and I was wondering if he was
Pop
going
some
to be
bottles after that.
Yeah, well, I was wondering if he was going to be an overpay. I didn't really enjoy my night that day. Turns out I was wrong, but I mean, I enjoy a club.
I am not a club guy. A bar guy, sure.
Sports bar or dive bar? What kind of bar?
Yeah.
I don't discriminate when it comes to bars.
Yeah, you're also a bar guy for sure, man.
For sure.
A bar with alcohol. That's all Manny needs.
Hey, man. Just give me my jack.
Yeah. I actually probably, it's so stupid. I probably been to more clubs because when I was single in New York, you were never really single here for that long.
Even if I was, I'm not going to a club.
He was single on Long Island.
Once in a while.
Queens, buddy.
Once in a while, me and my friends would go to one of these clubs with like a velvet rope and a line, and it'd be like 4 dudes, and it was the most awful feeling. 4 non-famous dudes. It's before I became a huge sports media superstar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and actor.
Oh my God.
Doing cameos with Adam Sandler, for sure.
Standing there an hour waiting to get into a club was the worst I've ever felt in my entire life.
While the hot girls walk right past you and go in.
Yeah. Or like people who know people. Like I would have liked to be a club guy, but I couldn't get into the club.
No, I don't. Darkness, thumping music, getting there at 2 a.m. No.
Yeah, but I got to tell you,
Manny's walking around.
Whenever something goes wrong with a pro athlete, whenever something goes wrong with a pro athlete, it seems like that Instagram DM is part of the equation.
Ask Zion Williamson.
I know.
Yeah. That is the double-edged sword. Like if you go to a club, you have an interaction with someone. In theory, that interaction, it can't be unless it's being recorded by someone via phone and you're mic'd up. No one's gonna know. But a DM, a screenshot can go a long way.
I know.
A little dangerous.
Look at how thirsty this guy is.
I cannot fathom the amount of attention that you get as a pro athlete or a celebrity. Like, and then B, like, how would you ever trust that it's a legitimate thing? At least that's how I would look at it. I would never believe that someone is not messing with me.
Well, maybe you have to marry somebody famous, like Josh Allen married actress Haley Steinfeld, but you can trust that might be why you go famous.
Go Bills.
I'm sure they didn't meet via Instagram DM either.
Well, I'm looking around. Most of the quarterbacks are married. You don't really have any single quarterbacks. Jared Goff, I am well aware of his wife's work. I'm going to be honest.
As am I.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you guys watch her in that quarterback special?
Often.
Yeah. She's a first-round pick. What's the deal with Joe Burrow? Is he engaged?
Everybody knows the quarterback.
I still don't think he even will say that he's dating the assistant who saw the burglary.
I think we know that he is. Like, I think they've been out in public. I don't know if he's announced anything.
Yeah.
But they are dating. That's made obvious.
Now, the big quarterback dating gossip is Justin Herbert.
Yeah, Justin Herbert. What's her name?
Madison Beer.
Yeah.
Big beer guy. Love beer.
Yeah. Madison or regular beer?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I don't discriminate when it comes to beer either.
Answer is yes.
Now, I saw a lot of internet. Justin Herbert hasn't won a playoff game, but he's won life. He's done pretty well there.
Yeah, I was going to ask Manny actually this because I don't know anything about. She's a singer, right?
I don't know, maybe.
I think she's a singer.
I think so too. I've just seen her on Instagram and follow her a couple of likes over here. I don't know what her talent of work is.
She's new to me, but I saw all of the gossip sites and the tweets that they were going to like a party and she was holding the thing of Yahtzee and he had a bottle of wine. Like they were going to some hangout session.
I hate being poor.
That doesn't sound like a fun hangout. Yahtzee and wine.
And they did the weird like they walked like a staggered walk. So they were together, but they were not touching or even side by side.
Honestly, I kind of like that. That's like I kind of not on purpose do that with Andrea, where like I kind of like that. Oh, you're walking ahead.
In case
the
paparazzi's around.
No, just like I'm the dude that's behind. You know what I'm saying? So like someone's like, ooh, what's that? And then they see another fella shortly behind her. They're like, oh, wait, that's the guy. I can't even holler.
Big affection guy. This guy.
Yeah, know who did that? I got that from? I got that from Mello. Mello and Lala were like
well, that ended well too.
They used to do that paparazzi walk. I know, right? I'm not gonna do the mistakes Mello made.
Follow them.
But they used to do the paparazzi walk real well. Well, Lala would do the strut, you know what I'm saying? And Mello being 6'8", with his New York swagger. I was like, that's a power couple. I'm gonna take that line.
You're a little far from 6'8", dude.
Guys, get all this out of your system. Maggie's coming back tomorrow. She won't let us talk about celebrity couples. She does not believe in love. Doesn't even believe in Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce. So maybe later in the show we should go down some other quarterback couples. I actually don't know if Kyler Murray is with anyone.
He's with Call of Duty.
He's married to the game.
He's married to the game.
Married to the sticks. I respect it.
All right. Give us a call if you want to weigh in on Kyler Murray's video gaming. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Or do you believe in love? Not to quote Cher, yes or no. Everybody here is into Travis Kelce getting engaged to Taylor Swift. Maggie's not here today. She is not into it. But she did tweet from vacation saying how phony this is. But you can weigh in. Coming up next.
What a disgrace.
Who hurt her?
There's a quarterback situation that I really don't like. It has nothing to do with a girlfriend, nothing to do with a fiance. It's a ranking, and it's the dumbest ranking I've seen in a long, long time. That's next. Maggie and Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Manny, explain the song choice.
I feel like this is what Travis Kelce was, listening to right before he proposed to Taylor Swift.
Okay, in the break, Andrew Bogus sitting in for Maggie today. We had a discussion about Madison. Is it beer or beers?
Just singular beer.
Madison beer.
Just one, please. Just one today, please, bartender. Thank you.
Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert's new girlfriend. It's funny, Bogus. You're like, she's okay. You were like, I compared her to Megan Fox. You looked at me like I was crazy.
Well, because Megan...
He should have like that.
Thank you. Because Megan Fox is an all-timer. Not that Madison Beer isn't, but she's new to me, so I guess I need to do more research. And she's not unattractive, but Megan Fox is a first overall pick. Like 1-1.
Okay, I don't know about that. She is very attractive.
Good.
Yeah. I don't know
Megan
how
Fox
human
for
beings,
me, then I'll take her second.
I don't know how human beings get more attractive than this Madison Beer.
They look like Megan Fox.
That feels like a Matt Olson #1 pick, Perloff, to be honest.
Come on now. Let's chill out. Let's chill out,
Hey,
y'all.
Jordan Alvarez back. Look out.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Here we go, baby.
A very good player, but #1 pick, I don't know about that.
But actually, I'm looking at his pictures. Madison Beer kind of looks like her. Sorry. I'm going to stick by that.
So, I mean, I'll be the guy. I said that in the break. It's, to me, Madison she's clearly got work done to look like Megan Fox.
Got it.
Megan Fox looks like Megan Fox.
Are you saying she's the Dylan Raiola to a Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, my goodness. I'll go there, kind of. I mean, I hope she's not going around saying, like, hope she's not going to be next Transformers movie or something, but maybe.
I mean, listen. It's been a haphazard, weird show because of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, but I think we're really discovering important things here. Madison Beer is a Dylan Raiola. Yeah, I mean, her look is very much like Megan Fox has got that.
Now we're back to sports.
Megan Fox has that crazy eye thing going, right? Like her eyes are just stunning.
Yeah, and she's also like scary. Like she's way too intense and into weird stuff that I want no part of. Like so, like that freaks me out.
Please petrify me.
Yeah, okay, so I just emailed 2 photos of Madison Beer.
Please petrify me.
Yeah. I sent 2 photos. Like, you're not even going to know which one is Madison Beer and which one is Megan Fox. I'm telling you.
Oh, I'll know.
All right.
Trust me. Megan Fox, Transformers 1 came out when I was like, 17? I'll know the difference. Believe me.
Of course, E.J. Stewart, whose biggest celebrity crush is Anne Hathaway.
Fact.
I'm not saying Anne Hathaway's not pretty, but that's such a lame celebrity crush.
Have you been scouting Devil Wears Prada 2 scenes and settings here in the city recently? She's all over the place.
I've seen a bunch of these set photos. They look good. Andrea was actually watching Devil Wears Prada just on Friday night.
Yeah.
And EJ sat down and watched.
I watched a little bit. I just
seen it 100 times.
The whole time.
Seton is an old Dan Patrick Show bit. Me and Seton O'Connor, we are DWP super fans. I've literally seen that movie so many times.
You just use the acronym.
Yeah.
That means you're a super fan. Yeah, I'm not even that
This
far.
quality movie. Meryl Streep, heck of a performance. Devil Wears Prada is awesome.
It's a phenomenal movie, definitely.
Yeah.
Why I don't know why you're dissing, my crush of Anne Hathaway. That's insane.
Anne Hathaway's not someone you have a crush on. She's someone you admire. She seems too nice. I don't know.
No, because to me, I think that's the problem with this whole Madison Beer conversation. Is it's more than just the physical. Like it's what you bring to the table overall. Like Anne Hathaway is an icon. No, Anne Hathaway's an icon. Just
that's a downside.
Just like Megan Fox is an icon, right? Like Madison Beer, she may become one, but she's not there yet. Like there's more to this game. Like Beyonce's an icon. Again, like if you're talking about celebrity crush, I feel like I could find any random Instagram model and say it's a celebrity crush.
Yeah, I feel like I would rather have a crush on someone like that instead of an icon. Like, do you have a crush on Beyonce? She's almost moved beyond the point where you have a crush on her.
I'm in love with Beyonce.
Okay.
I'm still back on Please Petrify Me.
All right. I was going to complain about Jalen Hurts ranking the NFL 100, but that seems out of place right now. Let's go to some headlines. Justin Rocke, please save us from this train wreck of ranking women. And by the way, Justin, you're with me. Like Anne Hathaway, that's not a celebrity crush.
I would argue that she's a fair celebrity crush on that one. I was going to say I don't know that necessarily gets immediately issued. I agree with you though on the Beyonce aspect. Like she is such a massive star that as sort of like what Manny said. You're either non-factor or you're just madly in love.
But you want to have a crush of somebody who you think in a million years you could meet and hook up with. Like Beyonce's not happening.
No. Let me dream, bro.
I mean, okay, I'll tell you, Sydney Sweeney would be a celebrity crush more than Anne Hathaway.
Ooh. Why? How do you think you're going to meet Sydney Sweeney?
Well, I'm just saying, like,
You're getting a Gap commercial?
She is somebody who I know more people have a crush on than Anne Hathaway.
See, I think
OJ Anunoby has a crush on Anne Hathaway.
You're saying crush, and I would use a totally different word
celebrity
to describe
crush.
what's going on. No, I'm not. I'm staying on the word crush. I think crush suggests you would want to marry this person in your perfect world. I don't know if people are like, I want to marry Sydney Sweeney. They may want to.
It's a long weekend.
Yes.
Labor Day's coming up.
I mean, listen.
Yes.
Manny, would you marry Sydney Sweeney?
In a heartbeat.
Yeah. I mean, you can
How much time you got?
Yeah, I mean, EJ, Anne Hathaway's not wrong. It's a unique choice.
Yes.
I've heard no one else ever suggest her as their all-time number one.
Are you kidding me? She was trending on Twitter yesterday. I'm like, I don't know what this thing is.
Well, because she's famous.
Well, that's sort of going back to your point, Bogish. That's sort of where the attainable thing comes in. If the way things have gone with them filming the movie, wander around New York City and bump into her the last couple of weeks.
You limp by her, EJ. I mean, she starts to have some sympathy. That's your icebreaker. What happened to your knee? You start talking, and away you go.
You're in there.
My wife got stuck in an elevator with Anne Hathaway, but she was a neighbor.
Everyone has met Anne Hathaway. My fiance met Anne Hathaway. Somehow I've not had this luck. It's annoying.
Hey man, just go sit courtside at a Knicks game, Madison Square Garden. You'll probably find her.
Perloff, let's do it. Let's run it back one more time.
I got next on the Knicks tickets. Hold on.
EJ, you understand why people might have a crush on Sydney Sweeney over Anne Hathaway.
Again, you keep saying the word crush, and
I'm trying to use that word crush.
The word I would use, I have to dump. I can't say. I don't think you're understanding what I would. I understand what you're saying. I'm saying when I think of a crush, I think there are actual feelings involved.
Yeah. Again, Sydney Sweeney. Okay, Justin.
All right,
give us some headlines.
I was going to say now for some headlines, folks. Thanks, gentlemen. The Mets aren't the only New York baseball team in the thick of a playoff race. Manny's Yankees trying to keep pace in the AL East and wild card, and right now, Giancarlo Stanton hotter than the surface of the sun.
Set, comes to the plate, pitch swung on, high fly ball, deep left field. Big G's did it again, everybody. 2-run homer into the bleachers, deep left field.
Giancarlo.
5-1, New York. The big fellas accounted for all 5 runs.
Non si può stopparlo.
That's what I was waiting for. The outstanding Dave Sims on the Yankees radio network. That was John Sterling at the back end. Yankees beat the Nationals 5-1. They're now 4.5 back of the Blue Jays in the East, a half game behind the Red Sox for the top wild card. How about this? Since July 8th, Giancarlo Stanton hitting .358, 16 home runs, 39 RBI, in 35 games.
He has had one incredible month, and with Aaron Judge's play not being there and him being injured, Giancarlo Stanton has stepped up in such an incredible manner, and that is a guy I have a crush on as well.
Fair.
For good reason, considering what he has done in the postseason, and now as of late for the Yankees, maybe one of the more underappreciated Yankees
100%.
in recent memory, but fourth in the majors in homers, second in RBI in that span. Speaking of baseball, no Cal Raleigh home run last night. Mariners fell to the Padres 7-6. I know we were talking about it yesterday, whether or not he can keep pace or maybe catch up to the pace of Aaron Judge and the race for the American League home run crown. 50 home runs through 130 games. I'm not a math major, but based on what I could do, he is currently on pace for 60 home runs with 32 games left to go. So it should be a fantastic finish for Raleigh chasing after.
Yeah. Justin, are you into this home run race? See, I'm an old person. I'm cynical about home run races. I didn't even really care. This is how bad. I didn't care that much about the Aaron Judge home run race. Cal Raleigh, to me, is very fascinating because he's a catcher. He's a switch hitter. He's so out of nowhere.
Aaron Judge.
I'm absolutely with you. Honestly, I think it's fascinating. I mean, it's not even September yet, and he's already set the record for home runs by a catcher in a single season. I think I find it fantastic. I've always been interested in the home run races. I mean, I'm also biased. My first season, remember watching baseball, was the 98 home run race between McGuire and Sosa. I know some fans have differing opinions on that, but that was my introduction to baseball, so I've forever been invested in the home run race.
But I got burned by that home run race and by Barry Bonds, and I'll never come back to a home run race. Bogues, you're a big baseball guy. You don't look at home run races cynically since what happened in 98?
I mean, not anywhere near the extent that you do.
Okay.
I mean, you almost trust nothing.
Well, I not only do I not trust it, also there are other changes. Like they changed the ball. The pitchers are pitching faster. Nobody gets base hits anymore. You just try and go for home runs, launch angle. I mean, so I just think it's really hard to compare old home run numbers versus modern home run numbers.
Sure, I get that, and the game put itself in a spot where it deserves. Like everybody, you always should be cynical. It's baseball's fault that we can't just sit here and be confident that things are clean and on the up and up and legitimate and all that kind of stuff. I get that. But Cal Raleigh having 50 homers on August 20, whatever yesterday was, or yes, he hit it on Monday when he got to 50. Like that's significant. Switch hitter, 50 home runs, that's significant. And he's the AL MVP as of right now, if I had to vote. So that's significant too. Am I going to stay up late at night and watch him chase history? Not 60 or 65. If he was chasing the Bonds' number, I'd be paying more attention. But I do care about it, but it's not going to dominate my life.
What is Judge's number? 62.
Judge's number was 62 in 2022.
For some reason, because Cal Raleigh's so out of nowhere and his nickname is the Big Dumper.
Yeah.
I'm much more
That's got to be
this.
the selling point, is the nickname, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Big Dumper, just do so much with it.
I mean, he's 100% suffering from being in Seattle because 2/3 of the country are asleep before he was taking his first at bat. If he was playing East Coast or Central Time and hitting these home runs at 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern Time, we'd be paying a lot more attention. And with the Big Dumper as his nickname, he'd be selling us everything right now.
Well, but there was a time when the one guy I want to see taking a bat was Ken Griffey Jr., who was on the show yesterday and awesome. We always found Griffey.
I mean,
did we?
Did we? I mean, were you staying up to watch Griffey?
I feel like whenever he was on TV.
Now you had been waiting to go to the club, so you were awake.
I mean, listen, I would look at I was the point when I moved to New York, I would look at the Yankees schedule, and that's the one team I went to go see play.
Right, but so you went to see Griffey in the Bronx,
and it was amazing too.
Yeah,
kids would be in the concession line. They'd be like, he's coming up, and they would sprint out to the door. It's like Griffey was like, you have to see Griffey.
He also killed the Yankees.
Yeah, I think A-Rod was on that team.
Them.
By the way, A-Rod was on that team. Nobody cared because A-Rod never fascinated anybody like Ken Griffey Jr. did.
Yeah, but you might be like peak Griffey didn't play with new A-Rod.
Yeah,
like it was so.
You're right.
The Griffey games that you were at, I don't think they couldn't have involved A-Rod.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's in my memory. I have no idea if A-Rod.
They did overlap for a period of time.
Right,
I'd say A-Rod's rookie year, I think it was like 96 or 95, one of those 2 years.
So when did he leave Seattle?
A-Rod left Seattle the year after Griffey left. So Griffey left before the 2000 season, got traded to the Reds, and I think A-Rod left going into the 2001 season.
I think that's correct. Yes.
Was A-Rod in the game, the final Yankee Buck Showalter game when Griffey scores the game-winning run in the Kingdome? So that's 90. That's the 95 postseason, right?
He was a 19-year-old.
Right. So, but like if you're seeing Griffey earlier 90s, you're not seeing A-Rod.
Not at the level that he was.
No. But I was seeing this was like 99.
The A-Rod was a star by then.
Oh, yes.
But it's A-Rod, like Griffey's a lefty, A-Rod's a righty. A-Rod, how many career home runs? What were 85% of them when they were up 9-2 and they were solo shots?
Those are Yankee home runs.
Easy, 696 for Alex.
Most overrated player of all time.
No,
and I'll say that to his face. You guys know, I have an A-Rod issue because a security guard almost threw me through a glass window.
Wait, that's why this A-Rod hate? I've been wondering what this A-Rod hate is about. I mean, there are a lot of reasons to hate A-Rod, but I was like, this feels extra.
Two things. Yeah, his bodyguard pushed me at a Super Bowl party, and I actually turned. I'm like, oh, does this guy want to fight? Then I looked at him like, oh, I'm not
Never
fighting.
mind.
I'm not fighting that man.
I was like, I don't want to fight.
like he knew Krav Maga and some sort of weird East Asian.
Tug McGraw?
No, like this. Like I could tell, like he knew martial arts. Like this guy would kill me. He would break both my hands in like 30 seconds.
Well, turns out A-Rod's bodyguard is Jackie Chan.
This was when A-Rod was first with 5'6" J-Lo, and they had so many security around. And for some reason, A-Rod was walking out of this party, and his security guard, I was talking to somebody, just having a casual conversation. His security guard pushed me with two hands out of the way for a path for A-Rod, and I've disliked him ever since.
I was going to say, like, what happened that you got pushed out of the way at a party? Like,
standing there.
I was going to say, were you in line before A-Rod to get, like, guacamole or something?
No.
It's like, no, A-Rod gets guac first.
No, they were just clearing an exit path for A-Rod. It was nothing.
I was going to say, creating the Red Sea.
So A-Rod's hiring practices is why you hate him. Because he hired a security team that was too good at their job.
But I think I've always thought he was a pretty good broadcaster, though. I will admit.
I do. I agree with that.
He is a great broadcaster. Being able to break down the game on an intellectual level.
Knows the game. I mean, also too. I'm such a Ken Griffey Jr. fan that I put the two against each other in my mind.
Yeah, and I just can't. A-Rod is so good on TV, and he loves the game so much. I still find myself going like, but you cheated. Like he could be.
Well, listen, I was also at SI when Selena Roberts broke that story about him, and he attacked. It was like Lance Armstrong. He attacked his accusers hard.
Right.
And he got caught twice.
Yeah, I hate that. Where you're Brett Favre or you're
Ryan Braun.
Yeah, Braun. Brett Favre obviously wasn't steroids, but attacking validity of reports that he did. Brett Favre, Roger Clemens in many ways. Like that. Just take your punishment and just go away. That is why I can understand someone turning sour on A-Rod.
All right, Justin, sorry, we didn't get to many headlines there. We got sidetracked in a really good way.
Hey, we got the Yankees in. That's good enough.
But we want to hear from you, 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Are you an A-Rod guy? Is Anne Hathaway crushworthy? All the important questions right here on the Maggie and Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining.
I'm sorry, Andrew Kaplan. I got a little out of control. I'm sorry, Andrew Kaplan. I got a little out of control. I'm sorry, Andrew Kaplan. I got a little out of control.
45 seconds remaining.
Shep had a vision. He thought he was grand, thought LeBron would pick up, thought he'd make a stand. But the Lakers saw his
30 seconds remaining.
Let out a sign. Is this guy for real? He must be high. Did you think you'd book the king on your weekend overnight thing? Bro, he's got a ring, a yacht, and a
15
jet.
seconds.
You've got 3 insomniacs and 1 drunk Mets fan named Chet. Are you serious? Did you hit your
Break
head?
ends
This
in
house
5
was
seconds.
worse than a Knicks fan's dread. Maggie and Perloff can't stop their last rip.
Back on Maggie and Perloff. So Andrew Bogusch is sitting in for Maggie Gray today. Maggie will be back tomorrow, so we have to talk about all our celebrity crushes until before Maggie gets back, because she'd just be too embarrassed for us to go through this.
But God forbid you mention Henrik Lundqvist.
Oh, no.
God, what a talented,
she
beautiful
understands.
man.
She understands. Okay, we just had a debate about A-Rod and Ken Griffey Jr. Personally, not an A-Rod guy, more of a junior guy, but I understand he was a great player. Let's hear from John in Boise. What did you think of Alex Rodriguez as a player?
I don't know. I didn't like him. I thought he was too full of himself.
Yeah. So do you think but I see here, you agree with me. A lot of times he hit home runs that did not impact the game.
He did. He hit a ton of home runs that didn't impact the game. And I called in about the NFL, and I saw this like the last 5 years. Parsons and Hendrickson from Cincinnati. They had the most sacks in games that didn't matter when their team was already down, where sacks would not have impacted the game. And T.J. Watt and I think it was Shaquille Barrett were the two players that had, the highest amount of sacks when the game was on the line.
Oh, that's
so I wonder if that comes into play in contract negotiations, or if anybody's looked that up, or Parsons and Hendrickson playing against backups when the game's already over pretty much.
John, thank you for the call. Yeah, remember last year when Parsons was out, then he came back. I got to tell you, I have to look at the numbers. That defense changed immediately when Micah Parsons was on the field because you had to pay attention to him. So it opened up stuff for a lot of other guys. So maybe to defend Micah Parsons, the sort of effect of him being there made the entire defense better, because I remember him playing pretty well when he got back last year.
Yeah, and I mean, the A-Rod hitting meaningless home runs is a great argument for A-Rod and Yankee haters. And there is some validity to when people get their stats, when they make their plays, but players like that affect the game all the time and affect other parts of. They let the other defense, you're double teaming Micah Parsons, so the guy on the other side gets to the quarterback and gets the sack. Or in the third inning, when the game is still close, you're pitching around A-Rod, and then somebody else comes up and gets a hit, but A-Rod helped facilitate all of that. And then sometimes the 3-run home run that makes it 11-2 still has some value at the end of the game as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not just sack numbers. There's also how do they play the run. There are some critics of T.J. Watt's play against the run, where Nick Bosa, who is a monster against the run, he destroys people. So, yeah, it's not as easy as sack numbers, but the kind of players – I disagree a little bit. I think Micah Parsons is truly impactful, but I worry about his size and his injury history. It's going to be really interesting. We're getting close. We're getting really close to next Thursday night's opener, and there is no Micah Parsons in uniform practicing for the Cowboys. What's your lean on that situation?
It's so nonsensical, the fact that they're not even talking about things, that I think that they know when it's going to end. I think that that's the only thing that I can take my head back to, is that they know what the numbers are, and he knows how many practices he needs to be in quote-unquote game shape. So kind of like McLaurin and Hendrickson, where out of nowhere they were done. I feel like this could happen later today. Yeah, because now it's game week. It's a week out. Okay, here I am, and the number has always been there, and that's why they're not talking. It's not all out of spite or anger. It's because they just know where and when the finish line is.
Oh, absolutely. And they've actually talked about the fact that they always go to the last minute with CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. Yeah, so they know they're going to the last minute.
It's still unnecessary. There are still hard feelings that will mostly go away once everything is signed and paid and whatnot. It doesn't have to be like this. And Jerry did cost himself money, like with the other guys, by letting the market reset over and over again before getting this done. But it's going to get done.
Absolutely. All right, let's go to Adam in Charlotte. The New Orleans Saints named Spencer Rattler their starter. Kind of feels like it's a tank job. Adam, what do you think of the Saints QB situation?
I was wanting to check to see if they had a first pick in the draft last year, because to me it would make sense that they would tank and then they'd get another Manning in New Orleans.
So you think this is all about Arch, because it is a weird situation. Yeah. Spencer Rattler versus Tyler Shuck didn't seem like either stood out that much. So you think it's all about Arch, but Arch said Arch's family said he might stay for 2 years.
Well, part of you wonders. Gail Benson, I had heard rumors maybe that she wanted to sell the team. This is a total hypothesis, but yeah, the Mannings are going to buy the Saints.
Okay, another issue too. Kellen Moore is the coach there. He brought over Doug Nussmeier, longtime NFL offensive coach, whose son is Garrett Nussmeier, who's in LSU, who will be in next year's draft. I actually wonder if Arch goes back, will Garrett Nussmeier end up there? Thanks for the call, Adam. I saw a really, really, really funny scouting report on Spencer Rattler yesterday. Do you guys know Barry on Sports? It's a comical site.
Okay.
He pushes a line sometimes. He said Barry put up pros and cons of Spencer Rattler. Pros, kind of looks like Patrick Mahomes from 100 feet away. Cons, can't play quarterback. Barry sometimes. I had to be honest. That was me, because I liked Spencer Rattler. Everything he overcame, former number 1 overall recruit, lost his job to Caleb Williams. came back, built a career, and looked pretty good with the Saints at certain times last year. Like he'd have a great half here, then the team would fall apart. I like him, but that kind of nails the Spencer Rattler experience.
Speaking of mean sports jokes, yesterday I saw that when Taylor and Travis got engaged, someone said that the prenup is going to be the longest book Travis has ever read.
I saw that too.
Can't read picture books.
People don't believe in love like we do here at the Maggie and Perloff Show. Coming up next, the great debate. Talking about home run records. This one's a fun one. Maggie and Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Can't stop their laughs. Rich eyes and staff made me. Maggie's rolling down the highway, feeling kinda rough. Last night's dinner, fighting back. Oh man, it's getting tough. She grips her wheel, but it's too late. Oh no, here it comes. Her Yeti Angel's holding water, now it's holding chunks. Oh, Maggie's puking in her car. Yeti bottle's gone too far. Her toothbrush ain't gonna make it through. Perloff's calling hazmat, man, it's true. She stumbles into the studio, trying to play it cool. Perloff takes one whiff and screams, "This ain't in my job rules." He's climbing on the desk, he's spraying Lysol in the air. Says, "I need a full decontamination, get me out of here." Oh, Maggie's puking in.
Trouble Sam took the mic in sequence, and Shame said, "I'll win this contest, you'll remember my name." But the teleprompter froze, he pulled out a cheat sheet, lip sync and turned back time with 2 left feet. Oh, the crowd, they booed, the DJ cried, he'd even Cher herself would have run to hide. If he could cheat in karaoke, he'd be the champ, but it's all hokey. With a glass of gin and a tambourine, he's the sloppiest diva you've ever seen. Meanwhile, at the station, the chaos goes on. Biglotti's working, but he's still not gone. The phones are ringing, the bosses scream, but Pete's still ghosting like it's part of the team. Sam's spilling beer on the judge's chair, screaming, "Do you believe?" with his hands in the air. The crown is crooked, the crowd's in despair. Bilotti no shows, but no one cares. If sympathy in karaoke, he'd be the champ, but it's all hokey. With a glass of gin and a tambourine, he's the sloppiest diva you've ever seen. Meanwhile at the station for karaoke, he'd be the champ, but it's all hokey. With a glass of gin and a tambourine, he's the sloppiest diva you've ever seen. He's in Kachi in karaoke, he'd steal the crowd, it ain't a jokey. But the truth is clear, the whole world knows Drunk Uncle Sam singing's worse than Bilotti's no shows. Those shows ever seen.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Welcome into the Maggie and Perloff Show. Andrew Bogusch in for Maggie. Of course, we started the show with what everyone's talking about. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift engaged. Can we be real men, though, here, Bogues? We're not going to talk about wedding planning. Can we talk about
something? Give
can
me
we
a
talk
tool.
about next Friday in Brazil? Travis Kelce will be on a field actually blocking guys. Isn't that weird? Do you think if you were playing against the Chiefs, you would ask Travis about Taylor? Like
I do not actually.
Between plays, you don't think the Chargers, like Joe Alt, well, actually, he wouldn't be on the field with Travis Kelce. You don't think that they're going to go up to him and be like, hey, congratulations?
I don't think they're going to congratulate him. I do wonder if she becomes the trash-talking target.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Travis doesn't seem like he would like that. He's very defensive of her.
Now, and you are more. You think Olivia Rodrigo is the better musician than Taylor Swift.
I'm more into Olivia. Yeah.
So are you using that in trash talking? Like your girl ain't no Olivia.
No. I'm a grown man.
Driver's License is a better song.
I'm not going to go to Travis Kelce. Olivia is a more consistent artist than Taylor.
All right, I'm just wondering.
I don't know. Also, too, I feel like I'm part of the Kelce family because I rooted for Jason Kelce as an Eagles fan.
Oh, you think you're part of the family?
Well, he goes down the South Jersey Shore, and Travis is a good dude.
We were in Sea Isle City recently, which is where the Kelces hang out, and you can. I don't know if it's been like cordoned off yet, but everybody knows now where they lived, and I'm guessing they're gonna have to move soon because it's probably become a little bit of a mini tourist attraction to walk by the Kelce house.
He's such an interesting guy, though, because I really believe that there's a humility there and a humbleness. Like, he's so loyal to Cleveland, but also he became a big star even before he started dating Taylor Swift. He hosted Saturday Night Live. Like, he has this team that's famous, this marketing team behind him that has built a lot of this. And that's why Maggie was so cynical. She thought that this was all marketing by Travis to become a superstar and get acting jobs and things like that.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I just wish Maggie was in a better place emotionally.
Did you see Happy Gilmore 2 with Travis Kelce?
Yes.
Travis Kelce, not to spoil anything, was tied up against a pole and getting eaten by a bear with honey on his bare chest, I believe.
Did you miss the chest hair conversation? Or were you here for
No,
that?
I wasn't here for that.
Any breadsticks?
I thought you were here for that.
No. What about it? That he has too much chest hair?
Well, he has a lot, and then Taylor made a joke about it in the podcast.
About his scene in Happy Gilmore 2?
Yeah, and I feel like you were here. Maybe you checked out because you didn't want to be part of the conversation because it led to Maggie talking about chest hair and how much she likes it or doesn't like it.
I was not here for the recap of the podcast. I really did.
No. This was a movie comment.
Nope. I would remember that conversation. I'm all there for that.
Do you want breadsticks?
He was mean to my guy Bad Bunny. I got some beef with Travis Kelce.
Bad Bunny's still award-worthy performance in that movie.
So funny that.
He's Esteban, my cat.
My cat.
Bogusch, I got to put you on the spot. What kind of movies do you think Travis Kelce will do after he retires? Is he going to be like Howie Long in an action movie?
I hope.
Is he going to try to act?
Yeah, I hope he's in some cheesy action movie.
Okay.
Yes.
Like The Boz was in one.
Or like, wasn't Willie Mays Hayes in a really weird one in between Major League 1 and 2?
Wesley Snipes?
Yeah, no, like the character. didn't the character go film an action movie where he's like jumping off a boat with like a machine gun? That's what I need out of Travis Kelce.
Yeah. I don't know. He feels like he wants to be a real actor's actor.
Okay. Best of luck.
Godspeed.
Yeah.
Also, I can't see Travis Kelce like holding a machine gun and firing people.
He's gonna have to just be Travis Kelce always, like a version of Travis Kelce.
Also, can I ask an alcohol question? What is the
Please.
blood alcohol measurement of Jason Kelce at this wedding? Are they able to measure that? He is going to show up with a sixer under each arm. It's going to be amazing at the wedding.
I don't think BACs go up to 100%.
Yeah.
Is he going to officiate?
What do you mean officiate? How is Jason Kelce a minister?
Like Jason Kelce doing the ceremony,
that tracks.
I could see him doing that.
Is
Is
he
he going to dress in the full attire though that he did during the first Eagles Super Bowl parade though?
Oh, the mummers.
The mummers.
Yeah.
Is he going to hike the ring to Travis?
There's no way that Taylor Swift's going to trust Jason Kelce to officiate that wedding.
That's true, too.
0% chance. Just because he's Jason Kelce.
Another of the podcast nuggets that maybe was only new to me is when Jason was shirtless and drunk and jumping out of the suite in Buffalo.
Yeah.
That was that might have been the first time the families were together.
Yep.
And that's how he behaved.
Yep.
Oh, okay, let me ask you this. If you were invited to the wedding, I don't think any of us are going to get the invite.
I might.
Would you rather sit with...
Whose side am I sitting
Would
on?
you rather sit with Mahomes or Jason Kelce? Because...
Jason Kelce, there's no doubt.
Is it because of Brittany?
It's a whole.
Also, I
vibe.
think it's just Jason Kelce's general personality. I feel like I'm going to more likely have a good time with Jason Kelce than Patrick Mahomes. I feel like Patrick's a little more buttoned up. Jason's the kind of guy, well, literally he's going to take his shirt off and wave it around like a towel on the dance floor.
See, I thought you were going to ask, would you want to be on the side of the groom or the bride? And Taylor Swift is definitely winning that. I'd rather be with those stars.
No way. Blake Lively? Blake Lively
No, Blake Lively and her are on the outs.
Right.
I don't know if Blake Lively is getting an invite.
Who else is in Taylor Swift's circle? I remember
Selena
Blake
Gomez,
Lively.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Serena
Another big
Carpenter.
fan.
You'd rather sit with Sabrina Carpenter and Selena Gomez than Patrick Mahomes and Jason Kelce?
America, did you just hear what he just said?
My God, I would take Jason Kelce
a warm-blooded
million
American
times
male.
out of
If you asked me if I would sit next to Selena Gomez and Sabrina Carpenter.
Why would you want to be on that side? So you could talk about murders in the building and
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the Kelce side is by definition going to be 1,000 times more fun.
I mean, you might see Jay-Z and Beyonce there. The celebrities on Taylor's side are going to be epic. I mean, I don't care about football players, whatever.
Who's Travis going to bring? Harrison Butker?
Yeah, I definitely don't want to sit next to that guy.
I think Travis will have, first of all, Jason. I think that it's going to be great. Travis, who's Travis's friends? He's going to have
Chad Henne.
Chris Jones is a underrated all-time defensive tackle. He's going to bring Xavier Worthy. He's going to be fast on the dance floor. I don't know.
Andy Reid will be there.
I don't know if Andy Reid's showing up.
Why wouldn't Andy Reid be there?
Hey, if they got cheeseburgers, he'll show
Yeah,
up.
he'll steal your nuggies. Yeah, you wouldn't want to hang out with Big Red? You want to hang out with Sabrina Carpenter? I don't know. I'm on the Kelce. Let's put that out as a poll.
Do you want to hang out with Sabrina Carpenter or you just want to be standing in the vicinity of Sabrina Carpenter?
I think you want to be able to visit the Kelce side and then leave before the beer and the puke and the shirts come off. Go back to the safe side of Taylor's side of the wedding.
EJ, did we have poll results from earlier in the show?
So we do. So we asked a simple question. Do you believe in love?
No.
74% say yes.
Okay.
Love
25%
wins.
say no. Now, we did have one comment that says, as a Packer fan, I believe in Jordan love, and that's it.
Okay, we'll accept that as well.
Okay, I
Thank
like
you,
the
Wisconsin.
optimism. Can we put up a new poll? Would you rather sit on the Kelce side of the wedding or the Swift side? I think the Kelce side wins.
I think you guys are dummies. You want to say that.
Well, I mean,
she's
we
friends
see-
with Haley Steinfeld, Emma
Josh
Stone,
Allen's coming.
That's right.
You know,
Gigi
when
Hadid. I mean, come on.
do you remember EJ when Taylor was up in that box and America decided to hate the Chiefs? Part of that reason was because they did not like the celebrity crew of Taylor Swift.
No, 'cause that
Ice
was the
Spice.
worst. No, because that was the Ice Spice. No, because that's the worst group to be at a football game with. But at a party, those are the people you want to be with.
You want to be with Jason. You want to be on the Kelce.
He's
The Kelce side.
sweaty and bearded. Why do I want to be next to him?
Because the
Falling on my-
Kelce side can party. They
Yeah.
are, and they're great dudes. They're not these faux celebrities in the.
Selena Gomez is a faux celebrity.
Wow.
Insane.
I mean, come on. Those people are too famous.
Says reporter
There's no
number
way-
2.
There's no way those people are going to be fun. Those celebrities are not going to be fun.
Hey, listen, as someone who's
Bob
watched
with the
Selena
boom
Gomez's
mic.
cooking show, I can assure you she is a lot of fun.
That's a good show.
It's a great show.
Wait, which show?
Her cooking show. Selena Gomez has a cooking show.
Do you think Ice Spice is going to pay the slightest attention to you? The Kelce's will have you up on their shoulders 10 minutes into the wedding. Those are down-to-earth people. There's other people are talking about have security guards. They're not going to be fun.
I don't want to be on
Sabrina
the
Carpenter?
I don't want to be on the sweaty, hairy shoulders of a Kelce.
Thank you.
It's a wedding. Oh, you guys are way off on this one. All right, we got to get to great debate.
Arrowhead my ass!
We got to get to the great debate. So this great debate started because of Cal Raleigh. who could set a lot of Major League Baseball records this year. We were discussing records. Hit the music.
The Great Debate Series.
So every Wednesday we do the Great Debate here at the Maggie and Perloff Show. Today's debate, the coolest sports record to have. This is loose hook off of Cal Raleigh, setting the all-time catcher home run record, about to set the all-time switch hitter home run record, could chase the AL home run record. Obviously a very cool record. So we're going to go around the room. Let's start with you, Andrew Bogish. What is the coolest record to have?
Well, some people might make this argument based on vindication to take it back from the hands of the evil current record holder, but this is just about my love for baseball. And while the sport is no longer America's pastime, the history of the game still is deeply entrenched in our society. So give me being the all-time home run king. If I had the most home runs of anybody, passing Barry Bonds finally, I would be made for life. The baseball might still be in its position, but I would still be at the top of the Q rating chart if I was the current home run king. So give me all of that. Give me the most home runs of all time.
You'd rather be that than single season
yes,
home run record?
I want to be the king of kings.
Okay, all right. Let's go.
Fastball is a high drive into deep left center field. Buckner goes back to the fence. It is gone.
Is that Vince Scully?
That is Vince Scully.
Fordham guy.
Scully.
Oh, not bad.
How about
all
that?
right, Manny, you're up. Greatest sport or coolest sports record of all time?
Well, I mean, I asked you guys, which sport in this country, I can just lay out a little bit here, Canada, which sport is our sport here in the United States? Close. It's American football. American football. And to me, being a New Yorker, something just doesn't sit right with the fact that Tom Brady is the guy who has the most Super Bowl rings. So, you know what? If I can get an 8th Super Bowl ring, I think that's a pretty cool record.
One more snap. Would you have guessed when this impossible season was trying to launch that you'd get it all in, you'd get to Tampa, and when the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady?
I don't know why we ever think it won't. It's gotten almost not realistic.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you so much for that, Tony.
Oh, my God. I can't believe you ruined your whole take with a Tony Romo calling it.
With that, thank you, EJ.
You're welcome.
With that, yes, give me an 8th Super Bowl. Let's take down Tom Brady. I got 7 Super Bowl rings, surpassing 7 Super Bowl rings as the coolest record.
The best Maggie and Perloff show drop, however, is Tony Romo talking about Martin Luther King Day. And he had the exact same tone there.
Yeah, the same
To
loss.
learn more, visit realizethedream.org.
What a day. Martin Luther King Jr. deserves to have a day named after him.
Thanks, Tony.
Only the deepest of thoughts.
Nobody like Tony Romo.
And you can catch those thoughts on CBS.
Put history into perspective. Okay, so you're going with Tom Brady, 8 Super Bowl rings.
What a day.
With that, I have a counter argument. Would you want to be Big Shot Bob Horry with 7 rings?
Nope.
Or Michael Jordan with 6?
I would rather have the NFL record because, I mean, I love basketball. I love baseball. All those other World Series records, NBA Finals records, to me, they just don't surpass winning a Super Bowl, unfortunately.
Okay, Justin Rocke is in on updates today. Justin, who do you got?
I'm sort of somewhere along the same line as Manny in the sense of so much of the sports conversation these days is about who is going to have the most rings, who has the most titles, and how much that weighs down the conversation of who's the greatest of all time. So my argument is I want to be sort of like Yogi Berra, 10 World Series championships, most decorated player of all time, a ring for every single finger. I want the most World Series titles of all time.
It's 1 away in the 7th. Berra bats for catcher Raleigh. He slams Branca's pitch over the scoreboard in right field for the first pink hit home run in World Series history. Score 9-8.
So you want Yogi Berra?
Yogi
So you'd rather
Berra
be
with-
Yogi than, say, Mickey Mantle or Joe DiMaggio?
I would say so. He's in the Hall of Fame, as his number retired, a legend throughout the game of baseball, synonymous for so many legendary quotes across the game, and you're the most decorated player, at least in terms of winning titles of all time. Not a bad career to rest your laurels on.
All right, I like it. Okay, now it gets awkward here.
Why?
Folks, you're co-hosting today. I'm going to go to you for a call. Both EJ and I have the same man for our record. Who gets to go first with our great debate answer, coolest sports record of all time?
I think that you should be gracious and humble and let EJ go first.
Fine. EJ, what is your coolest sports record of all time?
I'm shocked he took that as a cue to go to me. So we're both talking about one Wilt Chamberlain, and one of my favorite unofficial nicknames for Wilt Chamberlain is the unbreakable record, because you could pick a ton of records Wilt Chamberlain broke. But to me...
Is this about girls, EJ?
No, this one's not about girls. We had enough talk about that. We're going to be talking about stuff he did on the court. And to me, when I think of greatness over the course of a season, there may not be a better individual season in any sport than Wilt Chamberlain averaging 50 points in a season.
Wilt averaged 50 points a game, and that's people don't say anything about it. And when you average 50 points a game, but I'd still say Wilt carried the NBA that year.
Is it probably because we didn't get a chance to see it, or people who speak most now didn't get a chance to see it or really appreciate it? I mean, obviously we see the numbers, but to see and play against it, and could he have played in any era and dominated?
Oh, I think he could have. Wilt was a great athlete. He could run track, high jump, but he got it done on the court.
That is one Oscar Robertson talking to Matt Barnes and some cool music underneath there, talking about the 50-point season. Again, averaging 50 points. When a player has one 50-point game in a season, you're like, wow, what a game for the ages. A guy averaging 50 points suggests that you were so dominant, so much better than everyone else, that it was not even close. So to me, if I was to have a record, I'd walk around and say, oh, you like, the fact Luka averaged 31 last year? Nice. I averaged 50. I think the fact that no one's going to come close to that to me is the best record that I would want to have.
It makes no sense. And as Big O said in there, like, how do we not talk about this every single time?
I'll tell you why.
Any NBA great conversation comes up.
I'll tell you why. Because I'm up, and my choice for the coolest sports record is when Wilt scored 100 points. That's what he's famous for.
Maybe he did.
There's two numbers with Wilt, 20,000 and 100. Nobody cares, as Oscar said, nobody cares about the 50 points a game. It was all about the 100.
100 points in one game. Was there a point where just the other team left and made sandwiches on the bench? I mean,
well, I really wish it was. Actually, they were really very embarrassed about the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And so they were mad at me. And I was just out there trying to have fun.
At 85 points, did you start to feel bad a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. And the people
I'll just try and miss this one. 100 points.
And I did that. I know. I did that. Then my mother scolded me when I got home. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Never happened.
Oh, so was that Wilt on Conan O'Brien?
Yes, correct.
So Adam Sandler's famous bit was pretending to be a teammate at Wilt's. He's like, Wilt at 98. He's like, Wilt, I'm open. My family's here. Can you throw me the ball? Well, I mean, he's definitely most famous for scoring 100 points. And remember when Kobe Bryant scored 81? It was the craziest game I've ever seen in my life. Guy was double teamed and just rising up for jumpers, and he only got to 81. Wilt got 100 in the game. That is definitely the coolest sports record. All right. You can weigh in, 888-710-4ISN.
Never happened, though.
888-710-4476.
It might not have happened.
76.
There's no tape about it, man. Might have happened against the Knicks, but you know what? Never happened.
That's a problem with you. I mean, first of all, Manny, you're a person, if it happened before 2017, it doesn't really exist.
You are correct.
Your lack of historical knowledge is the one thing that bothers me the most about you. Bogues has a whole other list of things that bother you.
Nothing. I love Manny.
All right, whatever. We'll see how long that lasts. We want to hear from you. Coolest sports record.
I don't like that one.
Cal Raleigh, by the way, is the catcher home run record. Does that do anything for anybody?
Catcher, yeah. I care about the catcher one.
That's
a cool one.
What if he beats Mickey Mantle for a switch hitter? That's cool.
I was surprised by that one because Chipper Jones and Eddie Murray immediately came to mind.
Different era.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be disqualifying as a switch hitter to get to 50 home runs. 50 home runs is hard. I get that. And it's a lot of home runs, and it's only 33 times it's happened. So, like, it's a very, 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 very difficult thing. It just feels odd to me that we went from Mickey Mantle to Cal Raleigh between switch hitters getting to 50.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Chipper had 1 year over 40. He was not a big home run number guy. And Eddie Murray probably didn't even get to 40.
But, like, guys who are home run hitters.
Yeah.
And depending on all sorts of variables, the ballparks you're playing in, hitting the ball 5 feet farther, just a millimeter on the bat, a short porch, wind. If you can hit 35, with a little bit of luck, 35 can become 50 in a one-off year. So the fact that nobody as a switch hitter flirted with 50 over, 6 decades, that was surprising to me.
Yeah, but it is a pretty cool record, and that's what we're talking about today. Cool sports records. Feel free to weigh in. Okay, we also have to get to college football. We are days away from it starting. We talked a lot about Texas, Ohio State, Clemson, LSU. There's a third big game for the Saturday. And by the way, I have to share with you guys, I have a very awkward viewing situation for college football this weekend. I don't know if anyone can relate. That's next. Maggie and Perloff Show.
What a day.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Sloppiest dealer you've ever seen. He's got the road trip blues. Left behind, feeling like he's bound to lose. Perloff's off to San Antonio. Can't believe his eyes. But Bogu's stuck at home. His heartache amplifies. Betting against Wembyama. Perloff took the fall. But it's Bogu's left behind. Feeling 10 feet tall. A break. Road trip dreams shattered. For goodness sake. For goodness sake. Bogu's counting the minutes, ticking like a clock. While Perloff's cruising highways, Hilarion talk. San Antonio shining, the city's calling their names. Bogu's sitting home, stuck playing life's cruel games. Bogu's weeps, he's got the road trip blues. Left behind, feeling like he's bound to lose. Perloff's off to San Antonio. Can't believe his eyes. But Bogu's stuck at home. His heartache amplifies. Betting against Wembyama. Perloff took the fall. But it's Bogu's left behind, feeling 10 feet tall. A loser in his own right, can't catch a break. Road trip dreams shattered. For
45 seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, we're back, Maggie and Perloff. Great debate Wednesday. Off Cal Raleigh, Chasing Record Books, we are doing the coolest sports record. To recap, I have Wilt going with 100. Bogues, you have Tom Brady's 8 Super Bowl rings.
No, I have the all-time home run record.
Oh, I knew I was going to screw that up. You have the all-time home run. Manny has Brady's 8 Super Bowl rings. EJ has 50 points a game for Wilt Chamberlain. We both have Wilt, which kind of makes sense. And Justin Rocke, who's doing updates today, has Yogi Berra's World Series titles. So how far ahead is he over the other Yankees? I'm just curious.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I do not know off the top of my head, but my guess is he's probably fairly ahead of everybody else. Because he was like at the end of one dynasty and at the beginning and through the heart of another.
It's funny, nobody said Emmitt Smith, rushing record. No one said Jerry Rice, like individual records. You guys did a lot of team things. We want to hear from you, 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Coolest sports record of all time. Let's go to Big Friendly. Friendly, what do you got?
Good morning, Daddy Cool. 411, a.k.a. Little Big Swifty. EJ, the Bionic EP. My man Lester from Grand Theft Auto. I got some jobs we need to talk about. Manny Wapo, my man. Good morning, and thank you for taking my call.
Big Friendly, what's the coolest sports record, bud?
Cal Ripken Jr., the Iron Man.
Okay, well, we have a clip here.
What began on May 30th, 1982, and continues September 6th, 1995. This game, with the Angels trailing, is now in the books. And let it be said that number 8, Cal Ripken Jr., has reached the unreachable star.
All right, Friendly, I get it.
Okay.
It was a big deal, but is that a cool sports record or just an impressive sports record?
Okay, I'm going to tell you why it's cool and why it's impressive. It's cool because nowadays you got guys taking day offs for nothing. There was a few games in that streak in 411, correct me if I'm wrong, where he was hurt, and he still went out there and took his position. Now, real quick, Daddy Cool, because I know you got to let me go. Big Swifty, Little Big Swifty, my man.
Yeah.
I'm man enough to say this. I missed you. I did not appreciate what you bring to the table. So I am officially giving you your barbecue card. But don't worry about the potato salad. We got that covered, my man.
Big Friendly,
Daddy
I am
Cool, you
flattered.
always welcome.
Big Friendly, we got a new guy here, Justin Rocke. I don't know if you're familiar with his work yet. Good
Is that the
dude.
gentleman who looks like Lester from Grand Theft Auto?
Sure.
I did not.
I've been called plenty of different names. That's a new one.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're going to have to work, Big Friendly, you're going to have to work on some nicknames here. But appreciate
I will,
the call.
but real quick before you let me go.
Yeah.
Let me go. Manny Manueli, my man. Can I get a song request? The Scorpions, When to Change. Have a great day.
Okay. Here's my problem with Iron Man. Who's the NBA Iron Man? I think
AC
it's
Green.
Still AC Green. Nobody is like walking around being like AC Green's cooler than Michael Jordan. Who's the NFL Iron Man? I think it's still Favre. Yeah, Favre over Eli.
was coming up, but he got benched famously.
How far off is Mikal Bridges from AC Green? Because we've made fun of him for coming in.
No way.
Yeah, because remember, he's done it now multiple times as a net and then as a Nick, where the last game of the year doesn't matter. He starts, he like gets a stat and then he leaves to keep the game's played
Kind of
streak
like
going.
Josh Allen when he took that one snap.
Right.
Yeah, he's even done it mid-season when he's been nursing like some like knick-knack injuries, or they've been trying to give a rest day. At least with the Nets, he did that. Mikal is halfway there, basically. Mikal, AC Green, 1,192 consecutive games. Yeah. Mikal's at 556.
Oh, my God.
That's what I'm saying, though. Iron Man is not as prestigious as some other records for those guys. It's just Cal Ripken was a bigger star.
I think it's because baseball has like the everyday mantra, though. I think that's the thing. It's like, in the NBA, there are off days. In NFL, you have a week off. Like, hockey, there are off days. Like in Major League Baseball, there are very few off days. And oftentimes, they're playing every single day. And that guy was out there every single day. It is kind of crazy.
But, like, who's the current Iron Man? We have no idea, right? Do you?
No one's touching Ripken. That's why.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, this is the thing that baseball, I think, is always going to have. Baseball, more than football, more than the NBA, other than Gretzky's record in hockey. Like, baseball is about history. Baseball is about numbers. Baseball is about doing these things. Like you said before, nobody mentioned Emmitt Smith's rushing record or Jerry. I couldn't even give you a ballpark number on what those numbers are.
Well, I know Jerry Rice is 22,000 something.
Yeah, but I don't know that a lot of people do. Like, that's not what we care about in the NFL. We know Brady's Super Bowl rings, but like,
well, Emmitt becoming the rushing king was a huge deal.
Emmitt becoming the rushing king was the news, right? But like the numbers themselves are not entrenched in our head like 61 was, like 714 was, like Ripken's number was. Like that's where baseball still lives.
Well, you know who the current Iron Man is? Somebody near and dear to Manny's heart. Somebody he chose way too high in our home run derby, the Maggie and Perloff home run derby.
Olson?
Matt Olson is the current Iron Man, according to a quick Google search here. 740 games.
Wow. Oh, yeah. You see that? I mean, that's why I picked him all the way back in April. I had a feeling that he would play 162, and
that's
not
hit home runs.
No.
Has he gotten hot at all?
Joe's going to play half of those games and surpass Matt Olson this season.
Poor Matt Olson. He's got 19 homers. Jeez. But he is the current Iron Man. So to me, that's not as cool. We want to hear from you.
Take a day off, maybe. Rest up, hit more home runs.
Yeah. 888-710-4ISN. 888-710-4476. Coolest sports record. All right, let's go to Justin Rocke with today's headlines.
Thank you, Mr. Perloff. College football, the story that probably was the most viral yesterday was whether or not Barstool's Dave Portnoy was banned from Ohio Stadium this weekend. Portnoy joining Fox's Big Noon Kickoff pregame show this season, sort of their answer to Pat McAfee on College Game Day. And this Saturday is supposed to be their first game on the air this season, Ohio State and Texas from Ohio Stadium in Columbus. And yesterday it sort of came out that Portnoy was not going to be allowed in the stadium for the pregame show when they're making picks right before the game. Was sort of a back and forth. Portnoy saying he was banned, Ohio State saying he wasn't banned, and it was just a different plan of attack. Brady Quinn is a member of the Big Noon Kickoff crew, and he was a guest on 92.3 The Fan in Cleveland yesterday. And let's just say he's a little exasperated by the whole story.
All right, if he asks you, will you help smuggle in David Portnoy into the shoe for the broadcast?
You know, I was getting late texts last night about all this and all this stuff, and I saw the comments of Ross Bjork. And let me just say this. It feels like they're doing a bit of damage control right now. I just think it's all petty. It's all ridiculous if that's the case. I mean, it's fun. It's a great, it's a great game. Like, why are we, focusing on this off-the-field crap when we've got the greatest, matchup to start a season I think we've ever seen in college football history?
Yeah, very interesting that this is the conversation leading into the first time ever the number one team in the country is an underdog going into the first game of the season.
But, I mean, Brady Quinn has to understand why this is happening. They hired Dave Portnoy to create controversy and bring some of that fun rivalry stuff to the game. Of course that's what you're going to get with Dave Portnoy. It almost feels like that's what Portnoy and Fox Sports want out of this relationship.
And it's what your buddy Jimmy Traina at SI wrote about yesterday. Like this, everybody wins in this. Like Ohio State should lean in. Heck yeah, we banned him. That guy's a Wolverine fan. We don't want him in our building. How great would it be if he was like stuck outside the stadium by himself doing stand-up? Like that's good. That's good TV. Yeah. Ross Bjork should say, it was my idea. I banned him. He's not coming in our stadium.
It's going to be like Eric Andre, that Eric Andre meme clip of him outside the gate screaming, "Let me in, let me in."
It's like Maggie at the Garden.
Yeah, well, that's not as fun. But Barstool originally got famous because they were so mad about Spygate, I think it was.
Yes.
Or or Bountygate.
They were famous before that.
I think it was Deflategate was the whole thing there. They sort of did the whole sit-in at the NFL offices or whatever.
Right, and I watched a documentary recently about that. That's how they kind of became on the national scene. And that was what launched Barstool in the stratosphere by going after the NFL and getting on the out. So they were always the outsiders, which I think their fans appreciated because, I think a lot of people have trouble with the quote unquote insiders in the sports world. So Barstool, like being outside of the stadium would be perfect for Dave Portnoy. It'd be so funny. And he is really funny when he talks about Michigan versus Ohio State.
Yeah.
And he's not the only one too. There are a lot of friends in the media, our buddy Rich Eisen and Schefter, the Michigan guys. They wear their Michigan colors loud and proud.
Like the Syracuse guys when it comes to basketball time.
But yeah, Michigan's a little better at football.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the rules.
Okay.
No,
Really?
absolutely. Certainly the case
Well,
with
nowadays.
that.
Michigan, they won a title a couple years ago.
Gotcha.
No, certainly the case with that nowadays between Michigan and Ohio State fans, and probably even more so now because Ohio State kicked Michigan's butt for so long, and now that Michigan has finally returned the favor, a little brash about everything that has gone on in the last couple of seasons.
And I'm sure you know this too, Justin. There are a lot of people in the national sports media from Northwestern who, like the odd year that Northwestern's good, they act like Northwestern Wildcat football is like a thing. It's so ridiculous.
I was going to say Pat Fitzgerald was a cult hero in the media world for a long time. For a long time.
Yeah, right.
We're talking to a Penn State alum over there, too, so I think he's got some bias.
Oh, bias Penn State? No, not at all. Why would I ever have bias on that? But no, certainly interesting times in the Big Ten. But speaking of college football and over to the Big 12. So last weekend was Iowa State and Kansas State opening the season in Ireland. Of course, the big story there was Avery Johnson's dad and his brothers stealing the show for all the wrong reasons. But not part of the show. A nickname for that rivalry series. So Kansas State and Iowa State in recent years has earned the nickname Farmageddon for their rivalry series. Well, according to ESPN's Reese Davis, the Big 12 doesn't seem to care all that much for that nickname and actually might have given them a push to not mention it at all.
We got a directive that the powers that be, I guess for the institutions and perhaps from the conference, they weren't big fans of that moniker of Farmageddon. That's not a rivalry historically that's at the forefront of the college football consciousness. And you have a really cool name like that. It's not meant in a derisive way. That's in their DNA. It's part of their charter. It's what and they've done wonderful and magnificent things in that field, and it becomes a fun way to identify the game.
So apparently Farmageddon is not a fun thing for the Big 12.
Why?
It makes absolutely no sense. I guess maybe somebody in the athletic departments or in the administration departments for those schools take offense to it and think it's a little bit, biased or something like that. I'm not sure, but a fun nickname like that. I mean, I would buy a shirt that says Farmageddon, getting a Kansas State logo and Iowa State logo on that shirt. That would do. That would do business.
This is a sport with trophies that are like oak barrels and hatchets and a rack of ribs and like combinations of animals.
On one.
That's ridiculous.
You dump mayo on your head coach after winning a bowl game.
Right, we eat a huge Pop-Tart after a bowl game. But we can't call Farmageddon?
I have no idea. Did you see the story last week before the game in Dublin? A lot of sports bars reportedly ordered the Kansas State flag, the state flag of Kansas, not the Kansas State Wildcats flag.
That is fantastic.
So they had these random flags. They had the Iowa State flag and the state flag of Kansas flying in Dublin. So
why is there a flag with a giant sunflower on it in the middle of Ireland?
So you know the Kansas State? How do you know that?
These are the stupid facts that I memorized in school, as opposed to memorizing, the formulas you needed to know for science and math. I learned the stupid facts.
Y equals MX plus B.
Yeah.
That was gibberish to me. That you might as well have just been speaking Swahili. I think
that's the slope.
So Manny Rodriguez has a superpower. He can name any professional arena he knows the current sponsor of. Maybe you have a superpower that you know the design of every state flag.
Evidently so, or at least just know the Kansas State nickname being the Sunflower State. But
there you go.
Nonetheless, it's rather incredible that Farmageddon has been nixed from the lexicon for the Iowa State-Kansas State rivalry.
There are apparently people, speaking of like weird knowledge, that if you just tell them your zip code, they'll know what your
See, I feel like that's even crazier. Like, okay, like maybe you know the state nicknames, or maybe you know about a player's history, where they've been, what teams they've been on, stats. But to know the zip codes for like a random town in middle of nowhere, Wyoming.
Yeah.
Why were you looking that up in the first place?
Right.
Why is that in your knowledge?
And area codes too. People do that with.
But I think there are far fewer area codes than zip codes, and the zip code has a formula which I don't know still. Like I think the first couple of digits give you clues as to where, like what state you're in at least. But then at some point, that's way too much memorization.
Yep.
So that one I don't have. I have no idea. It's not a compliment to be that person.
All right. Thank you, Justin Rocke. We got to get back to the phone lines. Great debate Wednesday. Coolest sports record. 888-710-4ISN. 888-710-4476. See you on the phone lines. We'll get to you in a minute. Right back. Coolest sports record. Maggie and Perloff Show.
One bite, everybody knows the rules.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Exactly what they look like.
No.
Tube audience again. Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Andrew Bogus sitting in for Maggie today. Maggie will be back tomorrow. She missed Great Debate Wednesday. Today's topic, coolest sports record of all time. Kind of off Cal Raleigh, chasing possibly the AL home run record, or at least the switch hitting record, which Mickey Mantle holds at 54. Let's go to Chris in Vancouver. Chris, what do you think the coolest sports record of all time is?
I got it. Well, I thought of a second one while I was on waiting on air here, but I think the coolest one of all time has to be being the fastest man of all time. Usain Bolt, I believe he holds the Olympic record, but he holds the world record at like 9.58. I think that is hands down one of the coolest records of all time.
Well, but Chris, I have a question though. In track, not Usain Bolt, but a lot of other track athletes were enhanced. So those records, like baseball, got watered down a bit. Does that concern you?
No, that doesn't concern me. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. But that was my high school motto, by the way. No, I don't. That doesn't concern me at all. I mean, everyone was juicing. Usain Bolt, I'm sure they made a piss in a cup, but I don't. I just believe he's the greatest of all time. So I'm gonna give him that stat.
Okay.
But second one, yeah, go ahead.
You have a clip of Usain Bolt. Let's hear it.
There's the start, and Bolt got a good one, and Gay's right with him, and so's Asafa Powell. Bailey's there too. But here's Bolt. Bolt charging to the front. Gay's coming, but can't catch him. Usain Bolt, look at the time, 9.58, world record.
Very cool. What was your other one, Chris?
And this one is an unofficial record. I got to go with our boy Will Chamberlain.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Off the hard court record.
All right, Chris, appreciate the call. EJ already went with 50 points a game, and I went with a 100-point game. You can't bring up the 20,000 women.
Why not?
Oh, boy. All right,
That's a hat trick.
Let's go to Oreo in Oakland. Oreo, what do you got?
Hey, what's up, man? It's tough to, go after that guy, man. What he's doing. That was funny, dude. But when I think of cool records, I think of the person first. The person has to be cool, has to have some swag. And so for me, man, it was right here in my backyard. Ricky Henderson's stolen record. He was one of the coolest dudes, pimping his collar, popping it around the diamond. Everywhere he went, people imitated him. And you knew he was cool because the other team knew what he was going to do. Anything to get on base.
Let's hear a clip, Ricky Henderson.
Luke Brock was the symbol of great base stealing. But today, I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.
Yeah, Oreo, I'm right with you. Ricky being Ricky is hard to beat.
That's cool, man. And I also think he has the record for the most leadoff home runs. So if you put 2 and 2 together, man, he's the one up there for me with the coolest.
All right, Oreo, appreciate the call. Kyle Schwarber is chasing that down.
I've heard Ricky Henderson speaks in the third person as well. He refers to himself as Ricky. I love that.
You've heard that? Yeah, of course.
I was born in 97. He played in the 80s. This is new information to me.
I got a lot of Ricky Henderson stories.
You'd never heard that Ricky Henderson talked in the third person?
I found that out maybe 6 months ago.
Bogues. What's your Ricky story?
I found out when he passed away, actually. God rest his soul.
Do you know the Ricky Henderson missing check story?
No, I'm not familiar
Oh,
with
my
him
God.
missing a
You
check.
got to be kidding me.
No.
Well, the A's realized that he hadn't cashed or deposited his check, so they asked him about it. He had put it in a frame hung on this wall. It was his first paycheck.
Yeah.
There's also one about John 316, the signs where he came off the field and was like, "Who's John and why is he hitting 316?" or something like that. Or I'm hitting 320. There's a story like that
Ricky's
too.
confused.
Yeah.
I'm only mad at you, Manny, because he would be your favorite player of all time by 1,000 fold.
I am sure he would be.
Yes.
I saw Jose Caballero steal a base yesterday, and I got all excited.
Okay.
Can you imagine 130 of those?
Yeah, you would leave Jalen Brunson in a burning building to get Ricky out.
Oh, is that right?
He was so cool to watch play. All right, let's go to Sean in Oregon. Sean, what is the coolest sports record of all time?
Well, I was just looking at it. I was thinking about it. You might get me on a technicality here. It's not really a record. It's a streak. But, you look at Carl Lewis. He still holds the indoor track and field record. But for over 10 years, over 65 times he showed up at any indoor or outdoor meet, and nobody beat him in the long jump. He set records in the 100. He set record in the 100. He set a record in the 4x100 relay and the 4x200. Carl Lewis was the man, and still his record indoor holds. And for over 10 years, nobody beat him if he showed up in an event in the long jump.
It's a great one. Appreciate the call, Sean. Yeah, Carl Lewis, the way Sean describes it, maybe a little underrated historically.
Yeah, I think that one might be a little too specific and a little too far away from mainstream stuff. Not to dismiss the actual achievement. It's ridiculous, but it's just not, we're not aware of it enough.
Well, also, now it's a long time ago. I mean, that was the 80s. Okay, let's go to Chris in Lexington. Chris, what is the coolest sports record of all time?
Gentlemen, great show as always, man. All right. This to me, because I don't know if any of you guys play golf. I'm a huge Tiger Woods fan, and I looked it up because I thought I had it, and I wanted to make sure. Tiger Woods from 1998 to 2005, 142 straight cuts made, and he shattered Byron Nelson's record that he held for years at 113. So he boat raced him. To me, I mean, even some of the greatest in the world have a bad week. And for him, from 98 to 2005, and how many of those tournaments he won, and to not make a cut, that to me is going to be hard to beat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, what about him being number one for, I'm looking at it, I think, over 600 weeks? Because Scheffler has been number one and kind of chasing that record, and he's nowhere near. Tiger was also number one for an unprecedented amount of time.
Yeah, I'm a big consistency stats guy. Like Roger Federer, a lot of them have gone either to Nadal and or Djokovic. But at one point, Federer had been in 7 straight years of reaching a Grand Slam, every semifinal or better of a Grand Slam. He was just always at the end. He didn't just win a lot, but even when he lost at the end. He didn't lose in the first or second. There were no upsets. There were no injuries. He showed up. He won 5, 6, or 7 matches at every single major event.
So wait, what do you mean you're a big consistency
So
guy?
the longer something goes over time is more impressive to me.
Let me ask a question. If you're voting for a Hall of Fame and say Terrell Davis, who had a brief window, 4 or 5 years, would you be more impressed by Frank Gore, who played over a decade and really moved up the list, or short flash in the pan?
No, it's more why I pick the all-time home run record as opposed to the single season mark. It's why I would pick EJ's willed averaging 50 over the 100-point game. Because I don't say this as dismissively as it sounds, but anybody can have one great season or one great run. But if you are there and good and elite over and over, Tiger making the cut for 7 straight years, that's bonkers. As opposed to winning one event by 30 shots. I'd rather you be good long term than be a flash in the pan, to use your term.
We're exact opposites. To me, when Tiger, the Masters, to do that, to beat everybody by so long is incredible. Tennis, for example, we know that the top 2 or 3 guys are better than everybody, and they're always going to get to the final. So right now, it's Alcaraz and Sinner are going to be in every final. To me, it's the peak. It's the one time, I want to measure Michael Jordan's 6 titles He didn't score as much as LeBron, but at his peak, he was the best.
Well, right, but that peak lasted for years and years and years and years.
So he had enough consistency.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I like the single season guys more, but you can weigh in 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Coolest sports record. Coming up next, Kansas City Chiefs. Are they back?
You're in a 5-minute break.
Well, the Rockies are high and the air is thin. Two men walking in with a fire to win. Daly's got his racket, Rubenstein's got his pride. Tomorrow in Denver, it's a mile-high ride. The crowd's getting louder, you can feel that spark. Every shot's a thunderbolt cutting through the dark. From the city of Denver to the mountain towns, this battle of rackets gonna shake the ground. It's a showdown in Denver under that western sun. One man's leaving standing, one man's gonna run. Crowds will be singing, let the battle begin. It's Daly versus Rubenstein, only one's gonna win. But back at the station, someone's MIA. Belotti's still missing like every other day. And drunk Uncle Sam's hurting, can't stand on his feet. That pickleball injury knocked him out of seat. Guess he should have stretched first. Ain't no country song about a little pain, brother. It's a showdown in Denver, destiny's calling out. Rackets will echo, the fans will scream and shout. Two warriors fighting till the very last spin. It's Daly versus Rubenstein, only one's gonna win. Tomorrow in Denver, under mountain skies, one dream's gonna crumble, one dream's gonna rise together. And if you're looking for Belotti, don't hold your breath again, 'cause he still didn't show up for work, my friend. Well, the Rockies are high and the air is thin. Two men walking in with a fire to win. Daly's got his racket, Rubenstein's got his pride. Tomorrow in Denver, it's a mile-high ride. The crowd's getting louder, you can feel that spark. Every shot's a thunderbolt cutting through the dark. From the city of Denver to the mountain towns, this battle of rackets gonna shake the ground. It's a showdown in Denver under that western sun. One man's leaving standing, one man's gonna run. Crowds will be singing, let the battle begin. It's Daly versus Rubenstein, only one's gonna win. Back at the station, someone's MIA. Belotti's still missing like every other day. And drunk Uncle Sam's hurting, can't stand.
One minute remaining. Five seconds remaining.
I'm out
30
here.
seconds remaining.
And Cap, I think you're great. This is Daly. I'm out here. And Cap, I think you're great. This is Daly. I'm out here.
15 seconds.
And Cap, I think you're great. This is Daly. I'm out here. And
Break
Cap,
ends
I'm
in
sorry,
5
Andrew
seconds.
Kaplan. I got a little out of control. I'm sorry, Andrew Kaplan. I got a little out of control. I'm sorry.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
All right, welcome in Maggie and Perloff Show. Maggie Gray out one more day on vacation. Andrew Bogish sitting in. We've learned a lot about the various celebrity crushes around the room. There are no Taylor Swift crushes other than Travis Kelce, but EJ, we give him a hard time because of Anne Hathaway, because I know that comes from the Princess Diaries when you were 10 years old.
Well, she's still fine now, so.
Yeah. There's a movie. What's the movie where she's like with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Oh, which they're both selling pharmaceuticals?
Yeah.
I've seen clips of that movie, and I'm very interested.
Yeah. Well, I think you've seen the clips that are worth seeing.
I think you're right.
Also, Catwoman. I mean, come on. You act like Anne Hathaway isn't still in her prime. Give me
Not
a break.
into her. I'm not going to lie. I'm a big fan of her acting.
What?
Yeah, it's just not my type.
No, again, this is where his thespian roots come in. Is he's appreciating her as a colleague, as a coworker. It's not. It's deeper than our superficial compliment.
She has nice teeth.
I've been in 4 movies. How many have you been in?
Right,
folks?
and that's what I'm saying. You've been in infinity more movies than me.
Yeah, I've had 2 lines in these 4 movies.
More lines than I've had.
Yeah, and I did not do them particularly well. Almost got it. Adam Sandler almost kicked me. Hey, that was mean. Sandler almost kicked me off the set. No big deal. That was all, of course, because Dan Patrick, my former boss, is an amazing actor. Have
you thought about what team you want to play for?
Bo Cruz. Did anybody? Oh, so we all saw Happy Gilmore too, right? Or EJ, you probably haven't gotten to yet.
I've not seen it.
Okay. Dan is unbelievable. Not to kiss the butt of my former boss. He has like 3 minutes on camera. He's actually great in that movie. It's so funny. Like certain people have it on front of the camera in a movie. I did not have it, Bogues.
I like him so much. I really do. He's my favorite. He really is. I was
really?
asked,
I did not know you were a DP fan.
Yeah, I really am. On SportsCenter and then on the radio show as well. You guys had, in my estimation, you guys had the perfect setup. Your studio, your own space, all the stuff, people coming to visit, shooting hoops, all the memorabilia, the connection to Sandler, like that was pretty peak.
All going on still. What do you think of the McAfee setup? It's funny. McAfee was on vacation, and my buddy Peter Schrager sat in. Kirk Herbstreit sat in.
My dog.
Yeah, I'm not cool. I'm not cool enough for McAfee. I know my limitations. That's not my audience. Dan Patrick's garage, whatever that is, that's where I belong.
Yeah,
I want to let you know the people of Pittsburgh will respect the fact you're driving around in a boo, brother.
I think it's fair to say that McAfee took a lot from the Dan Patrick show. I think even Pat would admit that. Sort of Dan did a couple things. He was the first major sports talk radio show on camera like that. There were other shows that were on camera, but Dan's like, let's make it a real show. Let's have some movement. He had a confessional box, MTV style, that we used to do. I think Dan was a real serious pioneer in that space.
Yeah, because there had been radio shows that he simply put cameras on.
Right.
So you were watching someone do a radio show, but you guys were doing a partial TV show.
Now I think everybody's sort of run with that. And McAfee's taking, there's a lot of movement in McAfee.
Yeah.
There's this, guys being guys kind of thing. I think some of that's from Dan. They're a little cooler for sure.
You guys always had sleeves though, right? On your shirts?
Oh.
On like the McAfee setup?
Yeah. And you obviously could not do that in our building, and you know why, right?
Because we look the way we look?
No, that's a good reason. But you were not here. I think you might have been on break. There was an incident in the studio.
Really? Now, I know our friend Pat Boyle was not wearing sleeves this morning. I told him again that I don't think, and I don't think he knows that I'm serious, but I was being very uncle fatherly and being like, you should have sleeves on.
Well, you know why he did it today? Because he knows that Boomer Esiason is on vacation. Boomer is in the studio next to us. Boomer came in one morning when you were gone. It's like, Pat, what is going on with your lack of sleeves?
Yeah.
And Pat's like, are you serious? I'm like, he's Boomer Esiason. He's very serious.
What the hell was that all about? I wore a jersey once to the show and did not have a shirt underneath. And Boomer definitely made some comments.
Oh, my God. Well, Boomer, I think, actually did not appreciate Pat's lack of sleeves. But I don't know. But Boomer made fun of my legs the other day.
I have dementia.
So Boomer has definitely changed course on the shorts thing.
Yeah, he used to be a no shorts guy.
Yes, he's changed on that. He's not going to give it on sleeves. And I just remember, too, there was a day where Manny came in with just a jersey and the armpit hair flowing, and I gave him crap for that.
I think the jersey should be fine. I think wearing a tank top is another level.
What's the difference?
I feel like if you're wearing a jersey at a sports radio station, clearly you're doing a sports thing. It's related to, in some way, your love for this. If you're just wearing a tank top, you just want to show off your guns, or you just want to be more comfortable than you should be coming to work.
Yeah, I went to bat for shorts from day one here because it was the original bosses were very anti-shorts.
Was that a Boomer thing or a Bosses thing?
No, it was a Bosses thing.
Okay.
So I've always fought the good fight for shorts. I can't do the tank top jersey thing. I think if you got to, and I get the point. I don't mind you wearing a jersey. I think you got to have a t-shirt underneath it. I don't think your shoulders and your armpits can be out.
We're a sports radio station.
Dude, I got
covering the White House, man. Who cares?
Which is why you can wear a jersey. I didn't say to wear a suit.
I don't get it. You're on radio, dude.
Yeah, exactly, dude. It's a radio. It's a audio first vehicle.
I don't care that you have a hat on. I don't care that you can wear. I'm wearing whatever nonsense. But I just, for some reason, the jersey tank top thing doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me as much. But
it's so bad. Stop being so sensitive.
Boomer.
You're the only angry one here.
It's like, dude, those long, pasty white legs, do I really have to see that? To me, I was like, well, fair. I did not have much of a comeback.
He is still the guy that'll shove you in a locker.
Oh, my God.
He's done that to me, basically.
Who cares? Yeah, we have a bunch of lockers over there. Thank God they're small and they can't fit a human being because I would be in those.
Challenge accepted.
So would you, EJ. But Boomer's on vacation. We're free to be ourselves, wear whatever we want. You're wearing a really cool Boise State zip-up.
That I got when we were taken there a few years ago.
Yeah.
We were
I'm
sent
so
there.
jealous of that.
We were honored guests.
It made it sound like you guys were like thrown in the back of a van and then with your bags over your heads and then
Mraz and
pulled
DA.
up and it was like, oh, we're in Boise.
Mraz and DA just kind of put a bag over your head and all of a sudden you're in Idaho.
Complete opposite. They might as well have flown us private out there.
Yeah, I want to get in on that. I picked Boise to make the 12-team playoff, and Maggie picked UNLV, who almost lost in week 1 or week 0. So we'll see how that plays out. All right, I have a much bigger issue, though. My quarterback is, I will say it, being attacked. Philadelphia, born and bred. We always hate the quarterback, actually, but Jalen Hurts is riding a high wave. He was number 19 on the NFL 100 list. Now, I get it. Number 19, at least it's top 20. But then I'm looking at the players around him, and here's what I get mad. Jalen Hurts, of course, Super Bowl MVP. Let's start with 30, just to get an idea of the kind of players we're at. Number 30 is Xavier McKinney. He's 11 spot, the safety for the Packers, former New York Giant. He's 11 spots from Jalen Hurts. 29, A.J. Brown. Get that. He's awesome. 28, Tristan Wirfs, left tackle Bucks. Jamar Gibbs, 27. He's amazing. I love it. Zach Bone is 26, the Eagles linebacker. He's 5 spots from the quarterback. Danielle Hunter is 25. I don't think so. Brock Bowers, Lane Johnson, Max Crosby, maybe deserves to be higher. Jaden Daniels is 21. So there's 20 better players than Jaden Daniels. No way. And then you get into 19, Jalen Hurts. 18, Derek Stingley. Who would rather have Derek Stingley than Jalen Hurts? And then 17, Dexter Lawrence, defensive tackle of the Giants. How is a defensive tackle ahead of the Super Bowl winning quarterback, Bogues?
Well, Dexter Lawrence is a better defensive tackle than Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback.
Right, but quarterback is so much more valuable than defensive tackle.
I'll give you that, but Dexter Lawrence is not your ammunition here. The other names that you mentioned are your ammunition. And I hate this list because it's making me defend your quarterback and any Eagle. And to the extent that I hate lists so much, I don't know how this list comes together. Is it player voting?
EJ,
and
look that up.
media
I think there
voting?
is some player voting.
I think it's only player voting.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
believe it's totally all players.
And it's always been confusing. Is it a projection for next year or a reflection of last year? It's always been in a gray area, as far as I understand.
Yeah, and I don't get this. Now, I don't think they should be that much higher because it's everybody. So you've got to factor in. This list can't just be every quarterback and then we get to everybody else. So you've got to mix the Dexter Lawrences and
Okay.
wide receivers in the world. So maybe Jalen Hurts deserves to be in the top 15. So he's not so far off, but the names around him are even Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't think you mentioned him. He's number 20.
Yep.
They're both great players, but they're not back to back on a list like this.
Hurts is much more valuable to the Eagles than even Amon-Ra is to the Lions.
Well, yes, of course.
Also, by the way, Dexter Lawrence is, to me, again, he's a defensive tackle. He was elite last year. They couldn't stop anybody or win anything. So how valuable is he really?
Well, because their offense was atrocious.
Their defense wasn't great last year either.
But if you had the Giants roster, Jalen Hurts would be 91, not 19.
I don't think that Derek Stingley is that far below Dexter Lawrence either. If you have an elite shutdown cornerback, that's more valuable than a defensive tackle, arguably.
Dexter Lawrence, I mean, again, you have a lot of ammunition here. You don't need to besmirch Dexter Lawrence in this conversation.
Don't know. I think the Giants fan in you is speaking. Dexter Lawrence feels a little. I mean, does Dexter Lawrence belong ahead of Max Crosby? I go with the pass rusher every time. But Jalen Hurts, it does speak to Jalen Hurts' legacy and his reputation. Like, he is always under the radar because he doesn't really say anything. I think he keeps private. Sometimes he is quite happy not passing the ball a lot in the game. I think he's a really interesting guy. I don't think he'll ever get his due.
But I think that's it, Perloff. I mean, we played the clips because we joked with you a ton about towards the end of the year where you're like the Eagles could lose to the Commanders because, quote, they can't pass the ball.
Well, last year they really hit a wall on passing game.
Yeah, I mean, there was 4 straight games where he didn't throw for 100 yards. I mean, 200 yards, I'm sorry. That's not a player typically that's going to be ranked in the top 20 of anything, let alone top 20 players in the NFL. Maybe not be top 20 quarterbacks. You put numbers up like that. I know with the Eagles how they play is by design, but I think there are still folks who look at Jalen Hurts and say, yes, he's good, but he is in some way still a product of the Eagles roster, Howie Roseman, and what they've put together as an organization. That if you put Josh Allen on the Eagles, they may go undefeated. He may throw for 5,000 yards. Like, I think there's the idea that Jalen Hurts in many ways has been benefited from the situation he's in.
Although I feel like, EJ, those are all legitimate, like that's reality, but that feels more like an explanation of why Hurts would be lower than we thought in like a media outsiders poll. To me, he's the kind of guy that gets love from the players because they look at the game differently and they think he's nice and the way he plays the game. Yeah. So he gets, to me, he should be higher on a player list than a media list.
Well, let me ask you this. If there's a game on a neutral field and Jalen Hurts outplays Patrick Mahomes, which has happened twice, nobody was
if
shocked.
this was ever to happen.
No, Jalen Hurts is good enough. Like, nobody was shocked that Jalen Hurts went off in both Super Bowls, especially the first Super Bowl, because everyone knows when you unleash Jalen Hurts and let him throw downfield, he has a beautiful deep pass. There's certain things he does well. Early in his career, he survived that O-line. He made them elite. They never let up sacks because he always escaped. Like, early running Jalen Hurts was elite. I just think Jalen Hurts might be better than people think. And I'll be the first to admit I have not been consistently behind Hurts, but he just doesn't fall into the normal quarterback rankings. If you look at the normal quarterback rankings, top 4, everyone has the same guys. It's Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow. But to say that Hurts is, between 10 and 15 doesn't make sense because I wouldn't be surprised on any given day if Hurts outduels any of those players.
I will say this, though, and I do believe that quarterbacks are the most important position. I personally actually like that the players themselves don't just say, all right, the top 10 quarterbacks are just all the top 10 players, because I do think football is a team sport. You can't play quarterback well if you don't have good offensive line play, who don't have good receivers. In many ways, we talked about it a couple of days ago or yesterday with Joe Burrow. Like, Joe Burrow could be as amazing as he is, but if he doesn't have a defense to help him, then it doesn't really matter. So I do like that those other players, we say, hey, listen, yes, Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback, but maybe Derek Stingley is better at playing cornerback than Jalen Hurts is at playing quarterback. Now, he may not have the impact that Jalen Hurts has. That's because that's a position. but those are still important pieces to a team.
Yeah, it still looks weird to me. Like, I'm looking at other names on the list. C.J. Stroud, Texans quarterback, is 39, and his receiver, Nico Collins, is 33. Somewhere in the 32. So how can you put Nico Collins ahead of C.J. Stroud? That makes no sense to me. That's almost saying like Nico is that is what makes C.J. Stroud special.
But Nico had a better season than Stroud last year.
Did he? Who was throwing him the ball though?
Well,
I don't know.
C.J. Stroud was. I mean, we talked about how terrible that offense was. It felt like in many times Nico Collins was all the Texans had. In fact, when he got hurt, their offense was completely lost.
Yep.
Yeah, but it was because C.J. Stroud was under so much pressure, and I blamed the offensive coordinator. The blocking schemes were terrible. But the guys ahead of C.J. Stroud, Nick Bonito, Travis Kelce, Micah Parsons is pretty good. But those guys are not better players than C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud is worth of $50 million a year. I think we might view him differently. I also think Jaden Daniels is not the 21st best player in the NFL. I think he's higher too. I mean, these guys
after
are
one
unbelievable.
season, you think he's better than a top 20 player in the league?
Yeah,
with all these pass rushers and wide receivers and the quarterbacks that are better than him right now.
How many quarterbacks are better than Jaden Daniels right now? He's unbelievable.
But he's also a rookie. I think 21 for 1 year is impressive.
I got Baker Mayfield at 50. I'm looking at some of the other quarterbacks. You know, is Baker Mayfield the 50th best player in the NFL? I guess he's a little older, but yeah, it's just hard to rank these quarterbacks. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Because you can't, but you have to try to do it, and it feels like the players actually did this more than maybe we are. You can't let the importance of the position give them that much of a push forward. Like, everyone's quarterback is their most important player. Everyone who, if any team loses who they think is their best quarterback, they're going to suffer because of that, and it's the hardest thing to replace. So they all are more important than any other position.
It's a great point. I can talk about Bogus's Giants. Like, there were many years, including in those Super Bowl years, where Eli Manning was not close to the Giants' best player.
Right.
But he was the most important player. Does that mean that he should have been ranked higher than maybe O.C. Yamura? Yeah, I can't even say his name.
Just go O.C.
Wow, that was bad. In one particular season, no, because you look at the stats and see what O.C. did or Justin Tuck did or Antonio Pierce or whoever. But we knew that Eli Manning was probably the MVP. He was definitely the MVP of the Super Bowl. I think that, again, individual and what you do is different necessarily than what your importance is. I don't necessarily conflate the two. To me, it's like, I know we talked a lot about video games. Like, if I'm making a Madden rating, I would rate Derek Stingley higher in terms of what he does at corner, in terms of his attributes, than what Jalen Hurts does at quarterback.
It does ring true to me. Good point. So one team, by the way, who their win-loss record is more dependent on a non-quarterback. When T.J. Watt's out for the Steelers, they just lose every game. So he's maybe one exception.
He's the man.
It's probably because of the Steelers quarterback situation. Do you guys remember who was number one last year on the NFL 100?
Justin Jefferson.
It's not a quarterback.
Oh, wasn't
you have the right position, Manny.
Wasn't a quarterback?
It was a
Was
wide
it Jamar?
receiver.
Nope. It was Tyreek Hill for some reason.
Oh, that's right.
Last season?
Yeah,
Yes,
Lamar was number 2. Yeah. Christian McCaffrey was number 3. This is last year. Patrick Mahomes was 4, which is just silly. Myles Garrett was 5. So
the Jets,
the players do go off the rails at times. All right. Great Debate Wednesday. We're talking about the coolest sports record of all time with Cal Raleigh's potential home run records as the hook. We want to know what you think. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Coolest sports record? Or do you have a problem with Jalen Hurts being 19? If you're in Philly and you're listening, I want to hear from you. Maggie and Perloff Show. More football next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff Show, Great Debate Wednesday, coolest sports record of all time. Got into this because of Cal Raleigh possibly chasing Aaron Judge in the American League. That would be amazing. He probably will pass Mickey Mantle as the all-time home run leader for switch hitters. That's Andrew Bogus sitting for Maggie Ray today. That blows my mind that Cal Raleigh is going to break a Mickey Mantle record.
Well, and then you guys, after we discussed it the first time, we went through the list of like single season home run marks by switch hitters. And there are guys who got past 40, guys who were good home run hitters, some random guys in there too, which again takes me back to I can't believe that we've gone from Mantle to now to get our second switch hitter crossing 50 home runs.
I know. Because you would think, and also, hey, did Cal Raleigh use the special bat too? Does he still use it? I know he used it for half of the home run derby. What's it? The torpedo bat.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
He might be the first torpedo bat guy to hit 60 home runs. All right, coolest sports record. Let's go to Andy in Michigan. What do you think the coolest sports record of all time is? Oh, sorry. Andy, you there, bud?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, coolest sports record.
Okay. Love the show. Thanks for taking the call. Coolest back when, before when the NFL, the coolest play in NFL was the kickoff return back before they went arena football and everybody. But, and the ultimate best person at kickoff return was Devin Hester, and his 20 touchdowns, kick and punt returns. That's got to be the coolest for me. And I do have one more.
Okay.
One more, and this is my all-time favorite. When Chris Davis ran that missed field goal back in the Iron Bowl,
Kick
109
six.
yards. That was the absolute best.
All right.
I wanted to say what EJ said about Detroit to Saban, but I can't say that on the radio.
Okay. Thank you, Andy. I could not be a bigger Devin Hester fan. There was nothing cooler in the 2000s when you could not kick to Devin Hester. And by the way, let's give a shout out to the human joystick, Dante Hall.
Yep.
Let's talk about those rare times where Deion returned punts. It was insane.
Eric Metcalf, when I was
Eric
younger.
Metcalf. Remember, a couple times Randy Moss lined up to return punts.
Don't forget, I had two sons.
Oh, that's right. Shiloh, too.
Yeah, I love a good returner. And Devin Hester, I wasn't really aware. Oh, yeah, he set the record. Did Devin Hester make the Hall of Fame? He did, right?
I think he's certainly been a finalist.
He just got there.
Yeah, so Devin Hester deserves it because he's made that kind of impact. That's a pretty cool one.
Devin Hester's rookie year, by the way, is just unreal.
Yeah.
One of the great rookie seasons ever. Like 7, I think, return touchdowns, and then one in the Super Bowl.
Okay. I know he's a former Hurricane, and you're a Miami fan. Let's relax.
Well, where are the lies there?
Let's go to Dominic in San Francisco. Dominic, what do you have for the coolest sports record of all time?
For the coolest sports record, like if somebody was to beat it or match it now, would have to be Wilt's 100 points in a game without a three-point line, or even averaging 50 a game, or 40 rebounds a game. It was just amazing.
That's what both EJ and I had. That will never be topped. I mean, no one's ever going to get to 100.
And you have the benefit of a three-point line.
Doesn't matter. It's just never going to happen again.
I don't think so. And that makes it the coolest. And it's voting on the NFL players, if I may, if I'm not hogging time here. I mean, it seems like it's done, if there is such a thing as most recent body of work, it seems like it's based on that. Sorry, dude. I just think Jalen Hurts is overrated.
What? In what sense?
I'm sorry. And you and I are going to go at it all year because you know where I'm from and who I root for. In 2022, if Purdy doesn't get hurt, the Niners win that game. Because the following year, we beat you 42-19.
I know, but I was in the building that day. It was an avalanche of Eagles-ness. There's no way. If Brock Purdy didn't get hurt early on, he was going to get hurt later. That defense was on fire. And not only that, the officials were terrified to call anything. The officials were so scared of that Eagles crowd that they were going to make sure the Eagles got calls. Thank you, Dominic. Obviously, Brock Purdy is not part of this debate, but you could argue, like EJ said earlier, system quarterback. I think you were saying Jalen Hurts is a product of that great Eagles roster. Probably same thing with Brock Purdy. I'd be surprised if you ever saw the NFL 100 list and had Brock Purdy number 1, Bogues.
Oh, no, never.
Yeah, because you do sort of weigh the team around him. I'm actually surprised. I mean, really, it's like Michael Jordan. It should be Patrick Mahomes every year. And it should be Patrick Mahomes 1, Josh Allen or Lamar 2. I'd honestly put, even though Josh Allen won the MVP last year, I think Lamar Jackson had the best season. So I think that those guys should be the top 10. And by the way, we're falling prey to exactly what they want us to do. This whole list was created for debate. Last year, Tyreek Hill number 1. That is ridiculous. But it does show that players respect that guy.
Dominic made some salient points, in my opinion.
About Jalen Hurts being overrated?
Yeah, big time.
You like Dexter Lawrence? ahead of Jalen Hurts, 2 spots ahead of. I'm sorry, and I know he's a good defensive tackle, an elite defensive tackle.
Probably the best defensive tackle in the league.
And what impact does that have?
Stop the run, baby.
Did it stop Saquon Barkley this year?
Nobody can stop Saquon Barkley. That's the issue. Who cares about that?
I don't know. And also,
you have to send a double team every play to Dexter Lawrence.
If the Giants didn't have Dexter Lawrence, they'd probably have the number 1 pick.
That's right.
Oh, my
They wouldn't
God,
have messed
I
it
can't
up so
believe
many
it.
times.
I can't believe I have to. All right, as long as I have the Giants, as long as we're on the Giants, I actually haven't asked you, Bogus. When do you want to see Jackson Dart?
I'd say somewhere like mid-October feels good.
Is that what you want, or you're saying you prefer, as a Giants fan, put yourself in the fan shoes, you would want Russell Wilson to win a bunch of games, or do you really want to see the development of Dart?
No, I want to see Dart, but I don't want to see him too soon, and I'm not going to get carried away by the preseason, the way he looked. So I still think he needs some time to sit and learn and watch. Maybe he gets into a game that's a blowout or whatever earlier on, but for the actual change to him needs 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I don't like to overreact to preseason, but what I saw out of Jackson Dart, I'm like, get that dude in the game. He looked great, Bogues. He just looked first of all, he could move. He's big.
Yeah.
He just seems to have a sense. I was worried coming out of that Lane Kiffin offense, he wouldn't adjust. The preseason he did. I would go earlier. I would even consider starting him because what are you going to win with Russell Wilson?
Well, but I can't. But I can't sit here after the infinity Shedeur Sanders conversations that we had, especially after the first preseason game, saying it's a preseason game with no game planning, whatever. So you can't get carried away because he played so well in that game. So I can't then sit here and tell you that Jackson Dart solved all the Giants' problems in 2.5 preseason games. So what I've done though is pushed up when I think he'd be ready to go out there.
Well, it's a weird spot, too, because Brian Daboll is coaching for his job.
Right.
Joe Shane is GMing for his job. So will they really be future-oriented? They have to win immediately. I just don't know if this team can do it. Maggie actually has been flirting with putting them in the playoffs because there's talent there. I mean, that D-line is insane. They should have they have no reason not to be a top 3 defensive line in the
Dexter
NFL.
Lawrence is right up there.
But, I mean, they're passionate. Forget Dexter Lawrence. They have Brian Burns on one side, Kayvon Thibodeau, and now Abdul Carter. Is there more resources in a defensive line anywhere?
I mean, I could use a cornerback or two.
Well, the thinking is
if God forbid a quarterback throws the ball, it's going to be caught and run by the wide receiver.
I mean, how did they win the 2 Super Bowls?
These are not. But again, do they have Eli Manning or Plaxico Burress yet?
I can't even remember. Who were the cornerbacks when you had Michael Strahan and everybody running after the quarterback?
Corey Webster.
Corey
Ross was one of them.
Yeah. Aaron Ross, good player.
It's always
those guys right now.
Give and take. You can't invest too much in cornerback and defensive end. You got to choose. But here's the real problem. What is that offense going to do? Who are the pass catchers?
Right. After Neighbors, and I still this toe thing is freaking me out. That has been lingering since LSU.
Which is now a back thing, apparently?
Yes, exactly.
I've never seen more balls bounce off receivers than when Jackson Dart was playing in that game 3. It would hit Jalen Hyatt in the numbers and bounce off. Their backup receivers, they are not good. I don't even know if some of those guys might be starters.
Hey, man, you double-team Malik Neighbors and Jackson Dart, Jameis Winston, Tommy DeVito, whoever you throw back there, ain't going to be nobody to throw to.
Yeah, which is why they're not a playoff team.
So we're going to go. We have a new update guy, Justin Rocke here.
Real quick, you guys thought it was just a ruse after I watched 5 minutes of Jackson Dart in Buffalo and I proclaimed him to be the QB1. You guys thought I was joking.
That was some good scouting, Manny.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So
I should get a job in the NFL.
Justin, you were sitting in today. Yesterday, Andrew Bogusch was supposed to be here, but got called over to another station. I got to tell you, Gordon Damer, who sat in there, had a line that has stuck with me.
Okay.
I don't know that that's true.
So, in the middle of the show, on the fly, Tommy DeVito gets cut. And he goes, he's no longer Tommy Cutlets, he's Tommy Cut. That's a good line.
Wow.
He threw that. He dropped that on us on Manny. And you got to admit, because Manny was upset. That was a good line.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great line.
I cried in my oatmeal after the show because Tommy DeVito got cut.
And then I had to sit here, Bogues. I was like, wow, I bet you Tommy DeVito is going to catch on with another team. I just can't see Tommy DeVito being on any team besides New York.
He might not have to move.
Yeah.
He makes a lot of sense for the Jets.
Yeah, that's what everyone keeps saying.
I saw that.
And they cut, what's his name? The guy, their third quarterback.
Brady Cook.
Brady Cook, yeah.
I don't know. It's too obvious.
That's why the Jets will probably do it.
All right, let's get to some headlines. Justin Rocke, what do you got?
Tommy DeVito trying to corner the chicken cutlet market across the tri-state area before the end of his NFL career. But, hey, guys, NFL roster cut-down day yesterday, as you mentioned. Perloff, several top rookies. Also on the men, Bills first-rounder Maxwell Hairston placed on injured reserve, designated to return. Cardinals first-rounder Walter Nolan on the physically unable to perform list with a calf issue. Also, a trade today. Jaguars acquiring receiver Tim Patrick from the Lions in exchange for a 2026 sixth-round pick. Bills also reuniting, reportedly, with former All-Pro safety Jordan Poyer to help fill out their defense. Speaking of the NFL, Jamal Lewis had a tremendous NFL career, a former All-Pro, Offensive Player of the Year. 2,000-yard season, held the single-game rushing record at one point. Talk about great records that were held in sports history. He joined Marshawn Lynch's Get Got podcast recently and said he did all that in his NFL career with a less than ideal habit for a running back.
And it was, the 150, you get the 200s, and it's like, man, you just can't be stopped, we was just in the zone.
Man, you talk about 295, 150, 170, and all I'm thinking about is my lungs. Where the oxygen at, bro?
Hey, listen, and I was on the Black and Miles hard then, too.
Hey, man,
So what's going on here?
These dudes were smoking cigarettes?
Yes, Jamal Lewis was smoking Black and Milds while he was running for 290-some-on yards against the Cleveland Browns in the early aughts.
I like to sleep with the fan on, even when it's chilly outside.
I had no idea. When you started talking about Jamal Lewis, I'm like,
where
on earth is this going? That is not what I thought you were going to do, but all right.
Yeah,
it
was a little interesting there from Jamal Lewis. Also, U.S. Open continuing today. Last night, Coco Gauff able to outlast her opponent in 3 sets to advance to the second round. Another American, Tommy Paul, also a winner. He takes his first-round match in straight sets. Paul recently engaged, and after his match last night at Armstrong, his fiancée apparently telling him there are a few venues he needs to knock off his potential list.
She was here at the match, so if you guys see her, tell her congratulations. And probably not on Armstrong, I don't think.
I don't think he's getting married inside the U.S. Open facilities in the next couple of months or so. So that one off the list for Mr. Tommy Paul in the tennis world coming up in the next few weeks. But college football, Syracuse's Fran Brown entering his second season at the helm of the Orange. His son, Fran Jr., a long snapper and fullback on the roster, but he is currently not on scholarship. His dad, the head coach, explaining why.
Yeah, he put the work in, so I'm blessed to have him here, right? But for me, it was better to have my son, not saying that he can't be on scholarship, because he easily could be on scholarship, but it's easy for me to pay and then get another kid, right?
Okay.
So talk about the NIL era. Fran Brown deciding, I'm going to pay for my kid's tuition. I need that scholarship for another NIL deal with another player as Syracuse tries to build off a fantastic season last year.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And breaking news from the NCAA, that's not illegal anymore.
Oh, by the way, that whole thing about revenue share and the $20 million cap, turns out nobody even... It wasn't even a speed bump in the way they pay players. I've heard that multiple people on the ground.
Has anyone even followed it?
No, nobody even cares. Like they consider the rule a joke is what everything I've heard. So, yeah, I mean, Fran Brown, correct me if I'm wrong, he's been spoken out about NIL.
Yeah, he's been spoken out about NIL. He had the whole comment back and forth with Dabo Swinney last year, helping Clemson into the ACC championship game and asking for a little shout out from Dabo Swinney after their victory in a big game at the end of last college football season.
I'm trying to forget about that one.
He's the guy that doesn't shower after he loses?
Yes.
Okay.
Fran Brown's the man.
Yeah.
He's got a lot going on there.
Yeah, it does sound like that.
He's got a lot going on, and he's great for us in the media industry because he is one of the best quotes, I think, right now in the college football world. Speaking of quotes, baseball, Wilson Contreras picked up a 6-game suspension, the Cardinals catcher. This after he was ejected from St. Louis's game earlier this week against the Pirates. Contreras, after he got tossed, was so irate that he tried to fling his bat towards the umpires. Unfortunately, he didn't reach the umpires. He hit one of his coaches. However, when they asked Contreras about it after the game, he didn't think he should have been ejected at all.
I don't think he had urgent to throw me out.
I didn't argue any pitch in any at-bat. I didn't argue any pitch in my last at-bat. The only thing I said was, call the pitch above side because you're missing for us. That's it. And then I turn around. The next thing I hear, like, he threw me out. He had no reason for it.
That's certainly a reason for why you get tossed, but throwing a bat at the umpire generally doesn't go all that well. Just ask Delman Young.
So the suspension is legitimate. The ejection wasn't.
Yes.
Okay.
This is what we're getting at right now with Wilson Contreras. It's been a rough season for St. Louis. I think they just had their first attendance announced under 20,000 for the first time
since that stadium opened.
Yeah, for the first time since the new Busch Stadium opened, which is insane. I worked with Wilson Contreras many years ago. Great guy, but
he didn't mean to hit that guy in the face. Can we all agree on that?
But he threw his bat.
He did throw his bat.
He sort of backhanded it. He wasn't aiming for that person.
No, but this is like just had the conversation with my kids about okay, when you throw the ball and it breaks something, I know that you weren't trying to break the picture frame, but
it
throwing
still
the
happened.
ball in the house is why we don't throw the ball in the house because it can knock over the frame. So you can say, well, I wasn't aiming at that guy when I threw my bat, but if you don't throw your bat, you can't accidentally hit the guy in the jaw with your bat.
Oh, that's why you can't throw a ball inside?
Yes, Manny.
Manny's still throwing balls in the house?
Damn right. Of course he is.
He's got no one to tell him not to anymore.
Not for him.
I've hung out with Manny's dad. He seems like a bit of a disciplinarian, no?
Disciplinarian, yeah.
Only with you,
absolutely.
or does the good brother get yelled at as well?
That dude's married now, so he's not in the picture anymore.
He's just getting reprimanded by his wife.
Exactly, his pregnant wife too. Yeah. So yeah.
I was going to say, just the baton passed along from one person to the next.
It's all yours now, Christina.
Can I ask a quick question to you guys? Because we have 3 glasses wearers now, and Bogus is a sometimes glasses wearer.
Yeah.
There is a new athlete who has a big deal with Warby Parker, Arch Manning, who I've never seen wear glasses until his clip I'm watching.
I've never seen him in a photo with glasses in my life. Not that I've seen a ton of photos of Arch Manning.
I don't love that.
Wait, what do you mean? You
think
he's
wear
a phony?
glasses, and he's a glasses sponsorship. He's wearing glasses in this video for Warby Parker. Yeah. So I legit have never seen him ever wear glasses. Like, if you're going to get a glasses sponsorship, don't you have to be known as a guy that wears glasses?
Well, that, and also as a quarterback who's about to play his first season as a starter, is that the NIL sponsorship deal you want going into your first season? If he goes out on Saturday against Ohio State and throws 3 or 4 interceptions and he's got an eyeglasses deal, is everyone going to be thinking, well, maybe he can't see who he's throwing to?
Yeah, I would Photoshop that. I mean, Cap can get the AI picture ready right now. Photoshop him with a bunch of these big Rex specs on his face inside that Texas Longhorn helmet.
I was going to say, need those Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wraparound goggles from back in the day.
But it's not as bad as Gronk being the USAA representative and he wasn't in the service. At least
that's part of the joke in the commercials.
True. Yeah, but by the way, what a transition. EJ's like, speaking of glass, did you see Arch Manning? I was like, wait, what? Wait, we got to take a break.
Theme of this segment.
It was like a minute ago, 2 minutes ago. He has a whole commercial, and he's wearing glasses. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm a glasses guy. I'm like, no, you're not.
Okay, got to take a break. Do you guys want and Justin, you can stick around for this. Do you guys want a quiz on the recently released third-string quarterbacks around the NFL?
Sure. Always.
All right, well, that's next. Maggie and Perloff Show.
Gobble.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right. We got some breaking news on Maggie and Perloff show. An NFL trade is reportedly completed, or here's the actual wording from Adam Schefter. The deal is being finalized. Receiver Adam Thielen will return to Minnesota.
That's happening, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's been rumored for a week now because Minnesota has some injuries and they have a suspension for Jordan Addison. So they need some depth there. Adam Thielen, that's great. Going back to Minnesota. He was good in Carolina. Bit older, but that's really good for J.J. McCarthy because it was getting thin there in their vaunted receiver room.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that the Panthers are okay with taking Thielen away from Bryce Young.
Yeah.
For the same reasons that he makes sense in J.J. McCarthy. So I don't know what that says about Adam Thielen's abilities these days. But I remember people yesterday tweeting like, hey, he's at practice for the Panthers as they came off a cut day. Yep. Like he's still here. And now the next day, he's no longer there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Panthers drafted Ted McMillan, who looks amazing in preseason. They still have Xavier Legette. So they do have some resources at wide receiver. Okay, I promise it, and now it's coming your way, like it or not. There have been a series of journeyman quarterbacks cut in the last couple of days. I don't know if any of them have picked up again, but I'm going to ask you the name of the player, and let's see if everyone here can name the college. No Googling. I want everyone's hands off their
okay.
Okay. We're going to start with Clayton Tune. Who remembers where Clayton Tune
Wisconsin.
Okay. Clayton Tune, Wisconsin. Anybody? Any other guess?
Wazoo.
I actually didn't look it up, but wasn't he? Wow. Because I remember.
Can I tell you about Robert Tonyan and how important he's going to be in Kansas City? He got cut.
Clayton Tune was very much at Houston. Was he at Wisconsin before that?
I see red.
I don't know.
Yeah, so Tune was out of Houston. So, okay. That is my first one. He was cut by the Cardinals, by the way, and he looked really bad in preseason. Anyone watch that Cardinals game?
I can't say I did.
Okay. Next one. Easton Stick, who played a ton for Atlanta in preseason.
This is North Dakota State.
Okay. Easton Stick, North Dakota State. Mike White, former Jet quarterback. You guys should get this one.
Nope.
Mike White.
Mike Bleepin' White?
Mike White went to West Virginia.
Yeah, by the way, Clayton Tune was only at Houston. He was never at Wisconsin.
All right, so I saw a red jersey, and I said Tune, and I said Wisconsin.
Narrowed it down that way.
Mike White, South Florida and Western Kentucky.
So not West Virginia. Oh, that was Pat White. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Former UFL star Bryce Perkins, who was released by the Panthers.
Baylor.
Bryce Perkins was at UVA. Bryce Perkins probably that's about
Bryce Petty.
Desmond Ritter cut surprised me. 2 questions: where did he go to college? You guys should know this.
Yes.
And who cut him?
Cincinnati
And Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
It's a double.
Bingo.
I saw somebody post something that they were mad that he got cut because they ordered a Desmond Ritter jersey.
I did not realize.
I didn't know they made Desmond Ritter Bengals jerseys.
Desmond Ritter had a moment.
Desmond Ritter's mom was upset that he got cut?
Evidently, yes.
Okay, John Wolford, cut by the Jaguars.
Wake Forest.
Boom.
Bingo.
Yeah, my boy Dave Clawson.
Bailey Zappi, I'll give you credit for either of his colleges.
Western Kentucky.
Where'd he go before that? Houston Baptist, now Houston Christian.
Oh, of course.
Jake Hader.
Fresno State.
Was he Oregon State or
that
something?
was a Fresno State one.
Fresno State, first Washington for 2 years. Your guy, Tommy Cutlets?
Illinois.
Syracuse.
Syracuse, yeah, there it is.
Illinois and Syracuse. Trevor Simeon.
Northwestern.
All right, you guys
Must
did
have been a Big
really
Ten
well.
guy.
The only ones you missed were Clay.
I did call a Penn State Northwestern game in college when Trevor Simeon was the quarterback for
Who was
Northwestern.
the Penn State quarterback?
It's a pretty
Matt McGloin, another NFL legend.
Matt McGloin, who played in the playoffs, right?
Yes, he did. Not all that well for the Raiders in that playoff.
That's a good Francisco. Mike Francisco pullback. I think he called him like flufferness. There's a Mike McGloin thing in there too. It was a weird drop and a brain fart from Mike.
So the only 2 you guys whiffed on, Clayton Tune, Mike White, and Bryce Perkins, 3. Gosh, I had not
Please
been
get
paying
degrees,
attention.
baby.
I did not pay attention to some of these situations. So tell me, what happened with Desmond Ritter? He was the 3rd string in Cincinnati, huh? I believe you. But because the backup is really good there, Jake Browning.
Right, and the story was, he's coming back to Cincinnati. Bearcat star, getting a chance with the Bengals, figure things out, and then he doesn't even see week 1.
All right, so what did we learn today? Bogus and I tried to talk EJ out of a celebrity crush, Anne Hathaway, and failed.
Perloff was almost killed by A-Rod security.
Yeah.
Almost killed, strong, but accurate.
Then you almost thrown out of a window.
Yep.
Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift in love with each other.
Ooh. And Manny missed me a lot yesterday.
Yeah. What did we learn
and Big
about?
Friendly did.
We learned that Bogus thinks that Taylor Swift's songs are a good influence on
my daughter.
children.
I 100% believe that.
That's so lame, dude.
Easy over there, Doja Cat, or whoever your daughter's rapping about.
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj,
Got
yeah.
it right.
And what did we
Queen's
learn
legend.
about new update guy Justin Rocke?
Uh-oh.
Looks like a guy from GTA.
Looks like Lester from
Yeah,
GTA.
I did Google that, by the way.
He look like a guy?
He was right on the money. I
Lester?
begrudgingly admit that I look exactly like this guy Lester from GTA.
All right, cool. 'Cause now that you admit that, once you said Lester from GTA, I looked down and tried to hide behind my computer because I saw it immediately.
Are there any? Maggie comes back tomorrow. Are there any hot women we have to discuss before she gets back? By the way, not that she actually ever.
I'm guessing it's not Lester
That's
from
another thing,
GTA.
Madison Beer. We learned about Madison Beer and whether or not she is the next Megan Fox.
And Maggie never discourages us from talking about that, to be clear. But yeah, she doesn't believe in Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. But reality is here. He was down on one knee. There might have been CGI. So we'll get to hear Maggie's thoughts on that tomorrow.
Back to work again tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Manny Rodriguez, EJ Stewart, Andrew Bogus. Great job filling in for Maggie, Justin Rocke. Maggie Perloff Show. See you tomorrow.